Hello, hello. Welcome over here to Twitch. Another Lads Monday stream. Looking late. Okay, well, I was streaming on TikTok up until a little while ago, and then I switched over here. The problem was I had everything set up for stream like 10 minutes ago. I was gonna go live, and of course there was some kind of like update and things, and I needed to restart my whole PC again. And I had to reset up everything again. I was so mad. I was like, no, I just had everything perfectly set up. In my 30 minutes. Please. I can't. I will never not have Scuff. Thank you, Ben Mons, for the follow. Thank you. Hello, hello. So, that is why I am very late. I was like, okay, it's only gonna take me like 5 minutes to set up for the other stream. And what I was gonna do was, I had everything set up. Oh, it's lagging a bit. Oh well. I had everything set up to like see what would happen if I try to stream Lads both here and on TikTok. And the second I was gonna go live, everything was like, no, you need to restart your computer because there was this other update that happened before you can start streaming. So I had to close out everything, restart my computer, and then bring everything back up and set up stream again. So that is what happens. But I'm finally here. Finally, for Lads Monday. Of course. Today, I will actually read through the entire... I'll get through all of Zane's stuff. For... his section, and then I'll actually be caught up. Finally. But then we'll actually be caught up with the main story at this point. And then we'll get into other stuff, like the myths and stuff. So yeah. Let me just get into it, because I feel like I already waited long enough. Are we good here? Okay. Seems pretty okay. Seems pretty good. The only hour you didn't check TikTok. Yeah, I've been live for like between 9 and 10. That's how long I was live for. And we got to 5,900 over there, which is crazy. We literally got to 5,800 like my stream Saturday night, so the fact that we already got like 100 since then is insane. But yeah, so that's what we were doing over on TikTok. Okay, let me... And... Is the volume on? No, it's not. There we go. Oh yeah, I don't have that same opening. I have to change it again. Don't worry, we'll have Dancing Xavier back soon. Speaking of Xavier, thank you, JJ. 8-month streak, holy. Hello, JJ. Oh yeah, I have it on Caleb still.
You'll be on your period in the next couple of days.
No, I will not.
I haven't forgotten.
No, I will not. I don't think I've updated the time, but ignore that. Only a Xavier is accurate. Exposed. Yep, that is a thing in lads. Let me move this up. Okay. Now I can see it better over here on my computer. Caught you off guard, caught me off guard. Honestly, I've been waiting for it to expose me on stream. I was like, at some point, it's gonna give me like the period notice. I was like, watch it happen on stream sometime. Okay, let's get all the little goodies. Yeah, speaking of Xavier, before Caleb freaking interrupted me. Oh, we can get more kitty tickets. I will probably be using that. I don't know. Remember how I was saying how there's that one Xavier card I don't have? So they just announced last week that they're gonna do a rerun for that one card. And it's been like 2 years. On just that one card. Not even like all three. Like they're not doing like a rerun. Because it was like Zane, Raphael, and Xavier card. That was like the banner. They're finally doing a rerun on Xavier's card. And it's the one card I don't have. So finally, after 2 years, I would get it. Hello, but why no? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, let's get all the stuffs. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Still have the one... The one I don't... This one. The other Caleb myth. Get all these. So there's Caleb myth. This one. They're doing a rerun for it. Catboy working out AU. Well, not quite, but working out, yes. I want. Anyways. Oh, I have a ton that I can do on here. Sure. Well, let's just use up the standard 10 pulls. I have a ton here. Skip Caleb. Why? Why do they have to have it at the same time as Caleb's myth? The one Xavier card. Do I skip Caleb? Because they'll probably rerun Caleb's in a year from now. Oh, I did get a 5-star. Okay, let's see. Caleb! I'm pretty sure I have all of his cards here anyway, so... Yeah, I have this one. Alrighty. Used up those. But, I might have to come back to this. Okay. But for now...
And it doesn't matter how.
Let me see. Yeah, we already know about that one. Lemonette, okay.
After going through a mountain of the fleet's data reports, My head is spinning.
Alrighty, Caleb. I love his little flower in his hair. Actually, let's see. What is Xavier wearing today? Why? Why? What? Oh my god, he has like the long ponytail hair today. And glasses? Okay. I mean... Looking pretty good. Scarf though. I don't know. I don't know about that. Interesting. It's a very interesting fit. That's what it is. Okay. Oh wow, I have so many of these. Let's add them all. Use them. Get rid of all little daily stuff. I think today I'll probably just get right into the main story. Because I do want to get to it, and plus I did start a lot later than I wanted to.
Have you achieved your exercise goals?
My exercise goals.
So, do you want to exercise with me today?
No. Hello, Kess of Calm. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Okay. Let's just get into it. So... I already read Tear yesterday. Physical therapy reminder, literally. No, that's not even a reminder. He's just... It's like, hey, workout. Because there is a workout feature where you can set a timer and work out with them and keep track of, like, goals and things. There's a lot. There's a lot on this game. Do I use it? No. Okay. We read through the first 2 chapters of Death and Rebirth. Now we only have the last 2, which I know focus on Zane. I just don't remember where we left off. The plushies? You want to see the plushies? Want to see the plushies? I'm pretty sure I read through this one. Let me click on this one. Let me see. Tour the sanatorium. I'm just seeing if I've done this one already.
There are things I need to tell you. The technology used in the Rebirth cocoon is from a research project Carter and I worked on when we were in medical school.
Okay. I don't think we read through that one. I'm pretty sure we did the emissary. I could probably just look up my VOD and see where I left off. Roasting tangerines. Yeah, no, we have not done this. Oh my god, Stinky. Chill. Hold up. I don't want him to bang on the door all night. Okay. I am back. I don't know. Stinky may or may not join. Anyways. Dawnbreaker. Okay, I'm pretty sure we're starting at 1 on this one. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure. You just get into it. In the early morning, street lamps cast a bright, lonely glow across the snow-covered streets. It makes the city appear deserted. Barely able to keep his eyes open, a boy dozed off in the priority seat. He swayed back and forth during a trip until he finally bumped his head. It was before the bus stopped, too. We read this one! I know I did.
Now arriving at Azure Square Station. Please remember to take all personal belongings with you.
Shichi.
Wake up! We're here!
Let me see. I may or may not be looking up my last VOD. I don't remember. I know we read this one for sure. No, I don't want to watch myself. No. Ew, I can hear myself. So weird hearing myself like right after. Just go away, Nikki. I know, cringe past Nikki from a whole week ago. Let's see. Okay, that's where I was doing the plushies. W past Nikki for doing the plushies. Well, present day Nikki started stream way later. Did I just do Dawnbreaker? I think I did. Alright, time to hear everything in double speed.
We're back, and you're not allowed to run off this time. Until we find the emissary, we need to stick to our usual plan. Pretend to be a regular dog whenever there are people around. You know, the fluffy kind that humans love to pet. Got it? We'll practice paw shaking later.
Yep, okay. I only did this one. I only did the first little story. And then let me make sure of that. Did I? Yeah. And then I took pictures. Okay. I found it. I found where I left off, guys.
These are special pathological
Alrighty.
subjects retain human for now.
I want to see. Okay. I for sure did this whole one. I just saw myself do it. Okay, we read Dawnbreaker and that was it. Okay, actually on to this next story. Actually starting almost an hour later. Anyways, Blind Spot. Finally. Good job, present. Okay. Here we go. After receiving assistant credentials for my investigation, I head to the Northering Road that's located in the downtown area. Detective lifts the barricade tape and approaches me. After we shake hands, he leads me to the crime scene.
Thanks for coming out when there's all this snow.
I like to say the same thing to everyone else who's here. Thank you, Artemis, for the follow. Thank you. I set up the precision scanner I brought on the ground and turn it on. Alrighty, bye-bye, JJ. Once the scan is complete, the data will be uploaded to the cloud that the association can access. Then a detailed report will be generated for police use.
Perfect. We've received some of the restored surveillance footage, so we can take a look at it. The surveillance equipment was damaged by the cold, though. I'm afraid the video quality won't be great.
I thought Lincoln City's outdoor surveillance systems were designed to withstand low temperatures.
The temperature dropped far below the equipment's tolerance threshold. It's safe to say the damage wasn't caused by natural means.
Interesting. In the low-quality footage the detective hands me, I managed to spot an unsettling figure lurking in the darkness. The creature's form is distorted. Weapons that look like hooked tendrils grow from its body. Compared to the ones I've encountered before, they seem to have grown significantly stronger. What about Dawnbreaker? Did you catch them on camera? The detective shakes his head.
They managed to avoid being captured
Yeah,
by the
Zane.
surveillance system. Meticulous and efficient, I'd say.
Yeah, the last we saw, Zane killed a child. Anyways. As I approach the damaged guardrail by the road, my hunter's watch immediately starts blaring an alarm. The initial Metaflux readings are extremely high. The Alterum is already similar to a Wanderer.
So that's it then. We should deal with these Alterum before they completely degenerate into Wanderers. Perhaps this so-called serial killer is actually a hero.
Detective gives me a contemplative look.
However, from a hunter's perspective, do you see the Alterum as humans? Or are they monsters that need to be destroyed like Wanderers?
That was W. Zane, no. Well, kind of W. Zane. He's killing the Alterum, which are people that are being turned into Wanderers. But they eventually kind of go insane and feral and try to kill everyone, so he had to kill the child before it got to that point. Oh wow, what a question. Do you see the Alterum as humans? Or are they monsters that need to be destroyed like Wanderers? They're human, they're monsters, it depends. I mean, once they're turned, they're just monsters. If you think Wanderers are monsters, then the Alterum aren't any different.
Then Dawnbreaker is nothing more than a Grim Reaper killing monsters. Or, from humanity's perspective, they're a savior who's freeing mankind from monsters.
Sharp wail of an ambulance siren cuts through the wind and snow. It grows louder as it approaches. We both look up, our gazes following it.
Wanderers, Alterum, the Deepspace tunnel. Sometimes I think about the kind of fantastical world I'm living in. If a disaster even worse than the Chrono Rift catastrophe arrives, how much could humanity really do?
So the authorities are covering this up and classifying it as an accident. They must be trying to prevent the public from becoming even more panicked. He nods before shaking his head.
The Alterum will cause panic, not the murderer.
Seeing my confusion, he smiles.
A blood-stained murderer is more relatable than these abominations. Yea or nay?
Maybe I'm overthinking it, but something about this detective seems off. In any case, the association will provide the police with a formal energy analysis report. I should get going now. On my way home, I opened the forum post that Tara sent me a few minutes ago. It's about Dawnbreaker. Ew, a whole article. Okay. Let's read this. Urban Mysteries. Let's expose the truth about the mysterious killer who only appears in snowy dawns. Dawnbreaker. Has anyone else noticed that the Alterum in Lincoln City have been slowly disappearing these past few days? That's because a mysterious killer has appeared in Lincoln City, the Dawnbreaker. They appear between dawn and sunrise, vanishing without a trace at daybreak, hunting Alterum ahead of the police. Inside scoop, 100% legit information, but don't ask me which insider. I can't say more. Sounds legit. Okay, and some people responding, being like, lol, fake, OP's probably just a writer hired by the site for clicks. Those Alterum things are just way too terrifying. Getting rid of them quickly is definitely for the best. No way this is real. My uncle works as a stature at the Hunter Center, and he's never mentioned anything like this. And he says, at the last person, at Missing You in Lincoln, the last 10 people who claim to have insider uncles already got cease and desist letters. Want to be the next in line? Interesting. Dawnbreaker. The Alterum and Dawnbreaker. These names sound like links in a food chain destined to exist in a perpetual cycle of predator and prey. Those monsters, come to think of it, I'm not so different from them. Will there come a day when others will try to erase my existence? As this crosses my mind again, I find myself strangely at peace. What was that? I hear a strange noise behind me. When I turn around, I notice... What? No, paw prints on the ground. What kind of animal left these? A squirrel maybe? Or a stray dog? Confused, I stand there, but then a white blur darts past in my periphery. My scarf suddenly tightens around my neck before vanishing. Oh. When I come to my senses, all that's left in the snow is a chaotic trail of footprints. The white blur has already vanished into the darkness around the street corner. My scarf! Cha-chee! In the run-down, gloomy alleyway, only scattered spots of light fall upon the snow-covered ground. A dead end. It took my scarf too. Where'd it go? Snow falls silently. My surroundings are so quiet that even the sound of breathing seems jarring.
Are you going to drag me back to the cocoon? I won't return. Wait. You're Dawnbreaker. Just kill me already.
Dawnbreaker? My heart races as I hold my breath and silently move forward. As soon as I turn the corner, I raise my gun at the shadowy figure.
You...
In the dim lighting, several objects coldly flash from the figure's palms. They're ice shards. They've pinned the teenager's sleeve and pant leg to the wall. Black crystals cover the teenager's left arm and neck, but he's different from the test subjects I encountered in Skyhaven. The realization hits me. He's an Alterum.
not torture.
I suggest you stay quiet.
That voice. I freeze upon hearing a familiar voice and move my fingers away from the trigger. In that split second, a sharp ice shard cuts through the air. It barely misses my cheek. Dawnbreaker, like the Grim Reaper, turns to face me with cold indifference, something something. It's Zane. The white creature that had vanished into the snowy night. What? Is it on auto? Why? Okay. It was not, but it kept going past the lines. Anyways, that was weird. Well, the serial killer, aka Dawnbreaker, is Zane. Wow. Wow. Hypothermia. Taking advantage of Zane being momentarily distracted, the teenager breaks free from his restraints and pulls out a knife from his waist. With desperate, wild eyes, he lunges at him. But his wrist is caught and twisted again. The cracking of a dislocated bone echoes through the alley.
What exactly is this cocoon you speak of?
Why do you need to know so much?
As if the word cocoon was burned into his nerves, the teenager suddenly jerks away. He clutches his crystallized left arm as he frantically runs to hide behind me. Spotting my gun, he forcefully grabs my hand and turns it. The barrel is pointing at Zane.
If you're not going to kill me, then let me go. Stay back.
A flicker of surprise appears in Zane's eyes, but that moment of uncertainty quickly fades, and his usual coldness returns. Zane, why are you here? Zane, who should be away on a business trip, is in a remote alleyway in the middle of the night with an all-term teenager. He was addressed as Dawnbreaker too. Something isn't right, questions piling up one after another in my mind as I assess the situation. I slowly try to free my hand from the teenager's grip.
You haven't gotten to the point where death is necessary.
Zane and I speak almost at the same time, and once again taken aback by the coldness in his voice.
But after tonight, that might change. The crystals will erode your body. Your skin will be split open, and your bones will be ground to dust. When it reaches your neck, you'll lose your voice. No one will hear you scream.
Person I've met before is the same one standing before me, yet this version of Zane feels like a stranger. His voice is cold, his gaze is cold, even his breath is the epitome of coldness. Something seems to trigger a memory in the teenager. His voice trembles as his body curls like a bow being drawn back. He buries his face in his knees.
You're right. They all died like that after emerging from their cocoons.
Cocoons?
I want to live. But if I'm going to turn into a monster, what's the point? Rather than let the cocoon turn me into a mindless monster, I'd rather die.
Zane remains silent, and he lowers his gaze as ice crystals silently form in his palm. Is he really going to do this?
A dignified death doesn't exist. Thinking you're in control of the situation by choosing to die, you're only comforting yourself with a lie. Did you escape just so you could die like a dog?
Don't lecture me with that nonsense!
Teenager straightens up and lunges at me again, his hand trembling uncontrollably. He grips my gun with all his strength, refusing to let go.
You're a hunter. A hunter's gun can kill a monster like me, right? Pull the trigger already!
I won't do that. You can't be serious. With a flick of my wrist, I toss my hunter firearm away and kick it out of reach. The teenager desperately lunges for the firearm, but Zane catches him by the waist and pins him against the wall. Stay calm, focus on my breathing. Exhale, inhale. You're trembling. I know you don't really want to die, so stop saying it. After several seconds pass, the teenager finally comes to his senses. He nods as if emerging from a trance. I steal a glance at Zane. His expression is completely serene and unmoved. It's as if he's an aloof observer standing at the crossroads between life and death. Move closer to Zane, firmly hold his hand in place, and give the teenager a gentle smile. You heard what he said, right? He said you can't die yet. He's the best cardiac surgeon in the city. If he says there's hope for you, then you can be optimistic about the future.
He's a doctor?
I know he may not look the part right now, but he really is the best in the field. Just don't misunderstand his intentions. You need to go. Now. The teenager freezes for a moment. As soon as Zane shifts his foot ever so slightly, the teenager spins around and runs away. Late into the night, the streets gradually darken. The light reflected off the snow makes streetlights appear soft and dim. After watching the teenager leave, I turn back to look at Zane, who feels like a stranger. A small animal of an unknown breed stubbornly refuses to let go of his coat. It whimpers as he pushes it to the ground again. Now that it's just the two of us and this dog? Anyways, you can tell me what's going on, right? Did your business trip end early, or did Axel Hospital call you back for an emergency? While I'm still asking questions, Zane bends down to pick up the snow-covered scarf, and he stares at me after trying to confirm something.
Is this yours?
If I remember correctly, this is the scarf you picked out 3 days ago?
Oh, then it's mine.
As soon as he says this, Zane walks right past me. You don't know me? Why are you suddenly acting like you don't know me?
Should I know you? If there's nothing else, I'll get going now.
But your home isn't there?
I know.
He stops in the snow and gives me a cold glance over his shoulder. His voice is devoid of any emotion.
The subway station is this way.
Weird. On the empty street, our footsteps crunch in the soft snow. With his tall stature and long legs, Zane strides quickly and widens the distance between us. I have no idea where he's heading or why. He's acting like he forgot who I am. All I can do is quicken my pace to catch up to him. Zane, answer me. I step in front of him to block his path. A mix of frustration and disbelief makes my chest tighten.
What's the matter?
It's my line. Have your evolve gone out of control again? The puppy whose species I don't recognize catches up to us. Its gaze flits between him and me.
No, I'm perfectly fine.
Interesting. Zane casually brushes me aside and continues walking.
Hey, I think a couple is breaking up in the middle of the street.
Puppy quickly shakes the snow off its body, gives me a sympathetic look, and then runs after Zane, who's already walking away. Two figures soon become dots in the snowy night. Whether it's because of frustration or anger, I stubbornly walk away without looking back. But after a few steps, I feel like something is wrong. Wait, the direction Zane's heading in? My heart races as I quickly follow the footprints in the snow. Zane lies unconscious on the ground, his brows tightly knit, as if darkness is dragging him into the depths. Zane? I crouch and shake his shoulders, but he doesn't respond no matter what I do. I can't just leave him like this. I try to help Zane up. As my fingers brush against his neck, I feel a layer of frost. It's unnaturally black. Could this be related to his nightmares again? A heavy sense of foreboding weighs on my mind, but getting him out of here comes first. I struggle to support Zane's weight as I drag him along one step at a time. Why was he talking about taking the subway? The path actually leads to my apartment complex. Alright, in the dream. With his weight pressing against my shoulder, even a usually short walk home felt endless. Zane and I practically collapse onto the bed together, the snow from our coats scatter onto the floor. The little white animal anxiously bounces back and forth on the sofa. I pick it up and gently shake Zane. His eyes remain closed, a streak of black silently emerges from his sleeve and creeps along his veins until it reaches the back of his hand. The black ice that appeared on his neck has already spread to this area. I need to wake him up from this dream. I reach out to the side of Zane's neck and gather my power. Resonate? Almost instantly, I sense the chaotic, surging power raging throughout Zane's body. Like a force that's been suppressed for eons and is now finally breaking free, a bone-chilling cold surges forth. It makes my entire body shudder. Power within his body is unstable. That's why he lost consciousness. At that moment, Zane's eyes snap open and he grabs my wrist.
What are you trying to do?
He grabs my hand and pins it. Encased in ice, my wrist is suddenly stuck to the wall once I realize what's happening. Take several deep breaths to compose myself. I'm trying to help you treat the black ice. When did it start appearing?
While I was dreaming.
Let's go of my wrist and the ice crystals dissolve with it. Guess there's no point in asking. To my surprise, the black frost didn't disappear after our resonance. It stubbornly remains on his body. Nevertheless, Zane appears much better than before. Remembering how cold he felt, I take out a thermometer to check Zane's temperature.
Extremely low temperature detected. To protect the device and extend its service life, the system will be automatically turned off in 1 minute.
The reason for the extremely low temperature isn't concerned and tries to prop himself up. Seeing this, I pull out an old-fashioned infrared thermometer and aim it at him. Freeze. I press the sensor against his forehead and playfully pull the trigger.
You're being childish.
As expected, he doesn't move. Beep. Lost in thought, I stare at the screen showing his abnormally low temperature. No wonder all the surveillance cameras at the crime scene were damaged by extreme cold. Even though I'm not sure if it'll help, I'll take out 2 fever pills and hand them to Zane along with a glass of warm water.
That's medicine. It's bitter. I'm not consuming it.
You're a doctor. You of all people can't complain about bitter medicine. It must be the first time in his life Zane's face shows an expression that can only be described as, okay, and? Who is this? This is not Zane. Not knowing how to help him recover, I head to the kitchen and make fresh carrot juice. I doubt it'll do anything though. Make him drink it. Zane hates carrots. Drink this instead. It's your favorite.
You know my preferences that well?
Zane seems genuinely thirsty. He takes the glass, hesitates for a moment, and then chugs it in one go. Well, do you want to give me a more detailed review this time? He meets my gaze as the entire glass of carrot juice turns into a solid column of ice in his hand.
It's awful.
I see your hatred for carrots is written into your DNA. As the night deepens, the hustle and bustle outside the window gradually fades into silence. I gather every blanket and quilt in the house to stack on top of Zane. Then I crank my heater up.
I'm not cold. I've already told you this. Take these blankets away.
Why don't you take them off yourself?
I don't have the strength.
Then don't move. Purses his lips, only to furrow his brow a moment later.
You've been fussing over me for a while now. Is it for a particular reason?
You're important. You're important to me. Certainty flickers in his gaze.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't want him to see my expression, so I turn away. The real reason is simple, actually. When he falls silent, I push my chaotic thoughts and turn his cold face towards mine. Dawnbreaker, you're very famous. So you dare run away or disobey me, or else I'll...
You'll what?
He asks softly, his chin is still tilted up by my hand, and his gaze falls to meet mine. I'll make sure you won't live to see tomorrow's dawn. I yank the blanket up to block his voice and gaze in the darkness.
What you described is not the first time this happened to Zane. I witnessed it once when he was doing research with me at Mount Eternal. He became a complete stranger overnight. No one knew what happened to him.
I figured this wasn't the first time Zane had been in this state. Dr. Noah's words only confirmed my suspicions. How did he recover from it?
That's something only he knows.
Over the phone, Dr. Noah sounds just as troubled as me.
Back then, he ventured deep into Mount Eternal by himself, as if he had something to do there. When we saw him the next day, he had returned to his usual self, the one we all knew. I guess whatever he needed to do was done.
Mount Eternal. The place seems to be hiding a burden that Zane has never been willing to speak about. My intuition tells me that whatever changed in Zane must have happened before the Mount Eternal instance. Those black ice crystals, seemingly out of reach, they linger somewhere in the depths of my memories. Yawn. When I open the door again, I find a ball of white fur sitting by the bed. It's wagging its tail at me. When did you sneak in? As I get closer, I notice the creature is contained within a semi-transparent dome made from the icy ball. It restricts its movements. I don't even need to ask who did this. Zane really doesn't show mercy, huh? Puppy-like animal lets out what sounds like a bark of agreement. I reach out to dispel the evil ice barrier, then I sit down with the creature in my arms. Now closer to Zane, I see the eyelashes trembling in his deep sleep. They're like wings of a weary bird that's finally resting at home. I don't know what you're dreaming about, but I hope they're sweet dreams. Good night, Zane. In the stillness of the night, only the white creature notices a faint sound. A subtle energy seems to be flowing. The white animal's ears twitch as it looks up at Zane and the girl's joined hands. The cold, corrosive sensation gradually fades. A warmth surges through Zane's cold fingertips, like water traveling through Leaf's veins. For the soul that's been trapped in nightmares for so long, the unmelting black ice covering his body finally recedes bit by bit. I'm getting Zane back. Not Dawnbreaker, imposter. Okay. Beyond the snow.
The investigation into the Alterum and the unidentified suspect is still ongoing. We urge all citizens to remain vigilant, avoid spreading rumors, and exercise caution when traveling alone at night.
Already the next morning when I wake up groggy, I prop myself up and press my temples to clear my mind. Beside me, Zane is still asleep. It's a rare sight at this hour. I lean closer and slowly become aware of his steady breathing. I watch as it slightly stirs the fabric across his chest. Poke. Zane has dementia. No, not quite. This is payback for making me haul you home through the heavy snow yesterday. Poke. And that's for freezing my hand to the wall. He's just out. Holding back my laughter, I give Zane's nose a gentle pinch. It really hurt when you froze my wrist, so I'll pinch your nose for that.
Is messing around with people while they sleep a habit of yours?
Feel his warm breath on top of my head. My breath hitches as I meet his slightly weary gaze. Zane? The morning light filters through the curtains and falls onto his tousled hair. Looking into those eyes, I can tell that familiar Zane has returned. Throw a cup of water on him. He'll just freeze it.
Yes.
Joy wells up inside me as I wave my hand in front of his face. Are you finally awake from your nightmare? He nods as he stretches his neck. I see the black ice on his body has completely disappeared. No, we're not throwing boiling water at him. Oh my god. You're actually back to normal.
You could phrase that differently.
Before he can say more, I embrace him. He doesn't pull away and gently wraps his arms around my waist. Congratulations, I'm the first person you saw when you woke up.
Yesterday, when I was in that nightmarish state, did I trouble you?
You're kind of cute. We're a little childish. Yeah, you were kind of cute. Maybe a little, but you were kind of cute. Especially when I pinned you under the blanket.
You could only see the blanket. How was that cute?
Seeing that cold and willful side of Zane, even for one night, reminded me of when we barely knew each other. I feel at ease as everything falls into place. A moment passes and I look into his eyes again. How much do you remember about yesterday? Zane rubs his temples and sits up.
It's a little hazy, but I remember most of it.
Including how you froze my electronic devices and hand to the wall? And how you even told me not to be nosy? glances away for a moment before his gaze calmly returns to me.
I also remember how you stacked blankets on me and did a test with carrot juice.
Your memory is impeccable. So when did these nightmares start?
They became more frequent after I returned from Chansha City.
Okay.
And in those dreams, I always forget who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. The me in my dreams, however, has his own mission to complete.
Presses his lips into a thin line and looks at me. The guilt he feels is clear. For some reason, the scene from last night flashes through my mind again. Thirst of emotions I can't quite name. Well, there's more black ice on your neck and hands. Your palms are warm too. Safe to say that you passed the physical examination. Welcome back to reality, Zane. Open my arms and wait for him to initiate the hug this time. Zane hesitates before leaning down, and he wraps his arms around me. His warm breath brushes against my neck.
Good morning.
Before taking Zane home, he accompanies me to the association. I'm going to update them on my progress in the Alterum investigation. Dawnbreaker vanished overnight. Some people on the forums joked that he had been broken by the dawn. The police investigation has hit a dead end, and the relentless snowfall is still the biggest obstacle for gathering evidence at the crime scene. While waiting for Zane to finish shopping, I sit in the car and look at today's news.
Ever, which announced the Fountain of Atay initiative, has revealed the first phase of the project, the Val Sanatorium. According to several reports, Val Sanatorium is using medical pods called Rebirth cocoons to treat patients with protococoon syndrome.
Rebirth cocoons? My mind quickly latches onto this word. I heard this term yesterday. Memory.
You're right. They all died like that, after emerging from their cocoons. Rather than let the cocoon turn me into a mindless monster, I'd rather die.
The cocoons the Altera mentioned must be these rebirth cocoons. Sensing my troubled thoughts, the white creature pushes his fluffy self from the back seat to settle on my lap. Are you trying to comfort me? Thank you. When Zane woke up, I asked about the animal. He said it belonged to some distant relatives. As for why he got lost, stole my scarf, and refused to leave Zane's side, Zane says he's not sure. So, what kind of creature are you? Decided to take out my phone and use its image recognition feature. As the screen refreshes, it shows a majestic Baije, the divine beast of antiquity, knows all beneath heaven and earth. With trembling hands, I cup his face. My gaze travels from his clear eyes to the tiny horns protruding like fresh sprouts near his ears. As I struggle to find the right words, Zane returns to the car. He has a bag of chocolates and dog food. Since you bought dog food, why don't you keep him? After all, your robot vacuum is the only other living thing in your house. Shouldn't have a friend?
That won't be necessary. My robot vacuum has its own social life.
Through the windshield, the warm glow of our headlights cuts through the heavy, snowy gloom. A figure is looking around while standing near Zane's house. It's a young boy in plain clothes. He's holding books in his arms. As soon as we get out of the car, the boy's face lights up with excitement and anticipation. He spreads his arms wide. Forgotten the books fall to the ground. I struggle to read that.
Emissary!
Emissary. Alrighty. Let's see who this child is. The unfamiliar teenager rushes towards Zane, who's standing behind me. A mysterious little creature wagging its tail runs over as well. Soon enough, all three of them are tangled in a group hug. Cute.
Let go of me.
Teenager steps back, then he excitedly scoops up the small animal.
So that's where you went, Shuchi. Why didn't you tell me?
Watching this harmonious scene between human and animal, I'm touched. But then, I quickly become confused. Whose kid is this? Zane guides the boy behind him.
The son of a distant relative. He loves sci-fi movies and cartoons. I suppose his latest hobby is running away from home. And he's the master of that.
I lean down to get a better look at the boy. He has delicate features and appears to be around 11 or 12 years old. Do you live in Lincoln too?
Well, you could say that. I live in the Fractal Library.
Excuse me?
In a nearby residential area.
Fractal Library? I've never heard of it before. Is it a new building? Knowing he's related to Zane, I find myself adopting a gentler, friendlier tone. Is this little guy your pet? What breed? Actually, what kind of animal is it?
He's just a regular pet dog. He's not special. Go on, Shuchi. Bark. That's not the correct sound. Okay, now shake.
Small creature glances at me, then at Zane. He swallows his pride and places his paw on the boy's palm. Zane stands by the wall with his arms crossed. When he sees my skeptical look, he looks away. The boy's face relaxes with relief as his expression shifts to one that says, "I told you so." Can you speak? Maybe I'm the one losing my mind here. Seemingly unable to watch any longer, Zane waves his phone.
I just got a text from his parents. They're going to pick him up.
Already? Can't you stay for a while longer?
I was actually planning to stay for a while.
Zane's sharp gaze sweeps over the boy. I might be imagining things, but the child and the dog freeze.
Right. I wanted to say hello. Uncle Zane will send me home.
It's cold, so you should head inside. I'll see him off.
In the dim daylight, Zane watches the girl wave goodbye. She's out of sight once she closes the door behind her. The boy catches a snowflake in his palm and silently watches it melt.
Why did you come here?
Hearing the scrutiny in Zane's voice, the boy's expression shifts to match its severity.
7 years ago, you promised to take up the position at the Fractal Library. I traveled here because I'm asking you to fulfill that promise. You were selected as the emissary of the Divine. Astra ordained it, and your nightmare is the greatest proof of this.
Zane speaks before the boy can say more.
I also said that I had my own choices to make and more important matters to attend to back then.
The boy's expression grows serene, and his voice carries maturity unlike the one from a few seconds ago.
Was becoming that version of yourself in the nightmare also a choice? People think they're making choices most of the time, yet they're unaware that all these options lead to one inevitable outcome. Fate falls upon us like this snow. It is silent and inevitable. And you too are destined to become...
He trails off, and the only sound that can be heard is nothing more than a barely audible sigh.
Since you haven't made up your mind, there's no point in me staying here any longer. But
Maturity and composure vanish as the boy's voice shifts back to a childlike tone.
I left the excessus bracelet you made for me at the library. Can you make me another one, please?
After a resigned sigh, an ice bracelet materializes around the boy's wrist.
Thank you, emissary. I'll take my leave now. In any case, you're welcome to find me at the Fractal Library in Lincoln City. I'll be sure to visit you again as well.
The boy slightly raises his hand, and his fingertips touch the air as a geometric shape gradually unfolds. He bows before stepping into the door, woven from countless folded dimensions.
The emissary is a liar. I counted every single day for 7 years.
As if drawn to his accusation, the wind and snow seem to follow through the vanishing door. They're silent. Snow ceases, and Zane remembers the first time he entered the Fractal Library. Even though it's called a library, its exterior was remarkably ordinary. It was a building nestled in a quiet corner of Lincoln City's silent streets. The young boy begged him again and again, so he pushed open the slightly weathered wooden door. There were neither bookshelves nor defined boundaries, instead an endless garden with intertwining paths appeared before him. And a library that seemed to belong to another world stood at the point where those paths converged. As soon as Zane stepped into the backlight, he raised his head and saw countless bookshelves. They reached toward a tower's summit where sunlight poured in. The library shelves were endless. They were like stairs that lead to another dimension. Then a young person approached them and claimed that Zane and the young boy were the administrators of this place. In addition, Zane was destined to become the Fractal Library's owner. The young person told him that the Fractal Library, which stood at the intersection of dimensions, didn't really exist in any galaxy. It didn't belong to any civilization either. And each book in the library contained the fate of a world. Zane wondered if his own fate was among them. Perhaps his nightmares were hidden within a page of these large volumes from the moment he pushed open the door. On the night he returned home from the library, Zane had a different dream. In that unfamiliar world, he wore robes as he walked in a very tall tower. He was leafing through an ancient tome. Between its pages lay a jasmine petal from a spring day, and that spring day belonged to a timeline he had erased with his own hands. It would forever remain unknown to anyone. Interesting. Well, getting a bit more about Zane. Pretty interesting. Alrighty, shoulder to shoulder. Just as Zane enters the house, I finish roasting the tangerines he bought. When I glance out the window, I realize the snow has finally stopped. Did your relative leave already? He must have a strict family.
Yes. He needs to go home and write his reflection paper.
There's a distant quality to Zane's voice. I sit down beside him and hold out one of the roasted tangerines. Ugh, I don't think I'd like roasted tangerines. The weather is perfect for roasted tangerines. Try it. He stares at me for a long time before finally eating a piece of the tangerine.
You don't want to know what happened during the past few days when I disappeared?
The explanation is going to be filled with medical jargon, then no. As for the rest, Zane will tell me when he wants to, and if he doesn't want to, that's his choice. Can't help but smile at my deliberate emphasis on the last words. He takes the half-peeled tangerine from my hand. Soon after, a warm orange slice is brought to my lips.
I said goodbye 3 days ago because I had accepted Carter's invitation.
Oh.
I'll be joining the Fountain of Vitae research project.
Tangerines are good, we know about roasted. Yeah, same. Like, I'll eat a tangerine. I don't know if I would eat one roasted or, like, warm. I don't know about that. Huh? Seeing me choke and cough several times, Zane raises his hand to pet my back.
It's ultimately an excuse. Something unexpected happened, and the nightmare arrived before I could carry out my plans. Lately, Oxo Hospital has received a large influx of unusual cases involving Protocore syndrome patients.
Never know till you try it. I mean, this goes to my last thing about why I wouldn't want pineapple. I don't know about warm, squishy fruit. I don't know about that.
Some died shortly after hospitalization. Others transformed within a month and became...
an Alterum. Ever is experimenting on people.
Have recovered at Val Sanatorium after entering a medical pod called the Rebirth cocoon.
Val Sanatorium, according to a news report this morning, is the first phase of the Fountain of Ate.
Carter told me that Ever will soon hold a press conference to demonstrate the Rebirth cocoon's effectiveness to the public.
Wouldn't that mean more unsuspecting Protocore syndrome patients will go to the Val Sanatorium?
We can't let them do as they please. I want to stop Ever's plans, not just for the Protocore syndrome patients. There's...
Zane trails off as he lowers his gaze.
I want to make amends for a mistake. One that should have been corrected years ago. Yet it still haunts me to this day.
I realize that for Zane, this carries a greater, more painful significance. Sorry.
I know I disappeared without a word before, but... will you come with me this time?
Oh. Asking me like that isn't fair. I know he helped me so many times before, and I'd agree to any request he makes. It's just... I still need a reason. Now that he's finally revealing everything to me, I won't let him have his way so easily. What's in it for me? The whereabouts of the ether core? Dirt on Ever? Or more leads about the biometric key? A few sweet words aren't enough to make me risk my life with you. I need more convincing reason.
Do you remember what you told me about the Deepspace collision chamber at the Gaia Research Center?
Mm-hmm. Yes, they conducted experiments to create me, their precious energy source.
Ever plans to restart that project. The new program they're showcasing at the sanatorium might be related to it. Isn't that a very convincing invitation?
Dazed, I see something flicker out of the corner of my eye. A fluffy white tail. Spring allergies. Yeah, I'm normally not too bad with them. But, I don't know, just been sneezing a bit more. Zane and I turn around at the same time. Suchi, aren't you supposed to be with your owner? Oh, we forgot about Shuchi. Crouched near the robot vacuum, Shuchi whimpers. Those clear, innocent round eyes look at me first and then at Zane.
You're staying here to watch the house.
In the white testing facility, a row of circular medical pods lines the room. Surrounded by soft, silvery light, they float in the air. Their translucent walls gleam with tranquility. Exquisite and graceful like meticulously crafted chrysalises, they pulse and contract with the rhythm of a beating heart. At any moment, it seems their contents might break free and soar towards the sky. Alrighty. Let's scan into... Let's go to this facility where they're experimenting on people and turning people into monsters. White Sepulcher. The next day. After driving west on the highway for 2 hours, patches of green vegetation finally appear amidst the desolate landscape. Looking through the window, I can see the distant dome of Val Sanatorium loom in the morning mists. After yesterday's events, we decided to tour the sanatorium as visitors to investigate. Fountain of Ate, the Rebirth Cocoon, the press conference, none of these can be tackled in a single move. However, we can assess the situation first before planning our next move. Are we almost there? I feed the last cookie to Zane as he drives. He nods, takes a moment to gather his thoughts before speaking. Just feeding him cookies.
There are things I need to tell you.
Cute.
The technology used in the Rebirth Cocoon is from a research project Carter and I worked on when we were in medical school. Back then, I began researching the application of protocors in implantable devices under Dr. Noah's guidance. It was also something I was interested in personally. At first, the research progressed smoothly. Yet when we started doing experiments, we need to stop researching this. The protocore energy has completely corroded the heart. Our experiment failed.
But the heart started beating again. It just grew some black crystals, that's all.
Dr. Zane and Carter worked together.
Did you know? The lab mouse we performed a protocore implant surgery on transformed into a wanderer and devoured its fellow test subjects.
Oh my god.
Zane, our experiment wasn't a failure. We succeeded! We've discovered humanity's next evolutionary form! We definitely need to visit that barbecue place near the campus tonight to celebrate.
The experiment didn't lead to new life. It turned people into wanderers, minions of a protocore. It was a Pandora's box that should have remained sealed. I destroyed all the related research data that day. I hope to keep this truth buried forever.
But Carter didn't see it that way, huh? Carter.
No. He named it X-Heart and took it to Xander Sciences. It was later implemented in the Rebirth Cocoon, which is the first step in the Fountain of Ate.
After finishing his story, Zane falls silent. However, his grip on the steering wheel indicates he's still caught in his memories. This is the mistake he wanted to make amends for. Not wanting him to dwell in the past, I clear my throat and lighten the mood. I used to think about how if we had gone to the same university, I would have dragged you out to have fun every single day. We'd watch the flowers bloom in spring, enjoy the summer rain, collect autumn leaves, have snowball fights in the winter. But based on what I heard, you must have been too busy to do any of that with me.
Not at all. In our lab, we always said it's best to take a 4-hour break while data is being collected. Then we can see the results after. So during those times, I would have been available at least.
Come on.
I was joking. If you were there, I would have always made time for you.
Aww. The car turns onto a newly paved road, past a sign that reads Val Sanatorium, and comes to stop in the parking lot.
I'm not familiar with the sanatorium's interior layout. If you encounter any danger during this visit, remember not to go in alone.
Don't worry, I'm a professional. While I speak, I catch a glimpse of White approaching us. Carter, who's here to receive us, wears a casual white business suit. Only a navy blue butterfly pin adorns his collar.
Have you been waiting long, Zane?
No, we just got here.
Carter leans down towards the car window. Upon seeing me, his eyes crinkle and his smile widens.
When Zane called about needing 2 visitor passes, I had a feeling you'd be accompanying him.
I compose myself. Smiling politely, I step out of the car, but just as I'm about to speak...
Let's skip the pleasantries and head inside.
Following Carter, we enter the long corridor that connects this parking lot to the sanatorium's lobby. My gaze falls on the emblem at the entrance. Under the curved shape are the following: Eternity Vanquishes Evolution Restraint Group. What does that mean? Without a doubt, this is Ever's logo. Carter activates the scanner and a white light immediately sweeps over Zane and me. A cheerful electronic female voice speaks.
Visitor identification verified. Zane. I am Telomere, the AI management system of Val Sanatorium. Welcome to our facility. We hope you have a good day here at the sanatorium.
The doors slide open and we enter the first floor lobby of Val Sanatorium. Pristine white surrounds us. The ceiling is unadorned, its white surface seamlessly integrated with the recessed lighting system along its edges. Beneath our feet, a gentle light bathes the white marble floor and illuminates every corner of the lobby. This place seems...
bright yet oppressive.
Yes. Pristine, silent, and unchanging. It's as if time itself stands still within these walls. In this environment, Zane and I stand out like 2 stains on an otherwise white canvas. A few doctors in white lab coats pass by us. Although they are quietly discussing patients' medical conditions, they nodded in Carter's direction.
Since Zane personally asked me for visitor clearance, I should give you 2 a proper tour.
Side by side, we follow Carter as he leads us to the reception desk in the center of the lobby.
I see the Fountain of Vitae finally caught your interest. All those phone calls over the past month weren't in vain. But I'm curious, what made you change your mind?
Carter stops in his tracks by the reception desk. He turns around, his signature smile returning with narrowed eyes.
You kept talking about humanity's future. I wanted to see if it would actually come to pass. Besides, nobody knows Exhard better than me.
Carter's eyes twitches. After a long silence, he suddenly erupts into a fit of laughter and shatters the lobby's tranquility.
Good, good. You've convinced me. Everyone deserves a second chance at redemption. Remember, Zane, I gave you this chance. And what about you, Miss Hunter?
When I receive this question, I deliver my carefully prepared response. Since Zane is joining the research project, I wanted to see what it's all about. Carter tilts his head, his gaze splits between Zane and me before settling on Zane. The amusement in his eyes is obvious.
I see. Even the strongest relationships need a solid foundation. I'll make sure you get a good position here.
He turns around and shakes the brochure stand next to him. The neatly arranged brochures scatter in disarray, and he pulls out 2 copies with a smile. He gives them to us.
The only downside to this place is that it's too by the book. But I guess that doesn't really affect you, Zane.
It's about complicated medical cases. The thin booklet methodically categorizes various diseases that conventional medicine has yet to cure. It's like a university department, and the facility's patients are eager students with a thirst for knowledge. A commotion breaks out in the distance. I look up. It's a group of elegantly dressed visitors being led into the lobby by a receptionist. They're being guided upstairs for a tour. On the staircase leading to the 2nd floor, several patients in white hospital gowns are walking down the steps. I expected to see many high-profile figures in this place, but even then, I never thought I'd see her. Ooh. Karen, who's 43 years old, is a war correspondent. She won numerous prestigious journalism awards. She spent years reporting from the front lines, faced countless life-threatening situations, and has earned a large amount of respect in society. A year ago, she was attacked by a wanderer, got protocore syndrome, and rarely appeared in public since then. I met her a few times at Axo Hospital. I heard she was also one of Zane's patients. Okay.
Dr. Zane, it's been a while.
Noticing us, she comes over to say hello. Zane acknowledges her with a slight nod.
Ms. Karen?
Someone of her caliber choosing ever? It's probably the best endorsement they could ask for.
I heard that when she left Axo Hospital, she had less than 2 months to live. Her daughter had just learned to say mama when you handed her a death sentence. How cruel.
Dr. Carter, the patient in room A504.
Carter gestures for us to wait a moment, then he takes a few steps to discuss something with the man at the front desk. Noticing my silence, Zane stops in his tracks.
What are you thinking about?
It's nothing. I just realized that Ever seems to have a knack for exploiting human vulnerabilities by any means necessary. How else could they gather people from different backgrounds and beliefs and make them devoted to a single cause?
The key to obedience isn't promising heaven, it's using hell as a threat.
No.
After all, everyone fears illness and death.
Footsteps accompanied by a familiar voice approach from behind. I turn.
We meet again, Miss Hunter.
Benedict.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Benedict, the director of Val Sanatorium.
You? From what I remember, he had another identity. I met him in a place where an Alterum died. You're the detective who spoke to me that day. Oh yeah, he was being weird.
Miss Hunter.
He smiles now with the embarrassment of someone whose identity has been exposed, but with the composure of a performer waiting for the audience reaction for the grand reveal. Or to a grand reveal. Alarm bells ring in my mind, but he quickly shifts his placid gaze to Zane.
It's been a while, Dr. Zane. Welcome aboard.
Alrighty. One last section. Final chapter. Benedict extends his hand as a friendly gesture. Zane barely returns the handshake before quickly withdrawing.
Wait, you two know each other? Why didn't anyone tell me?
Dr. Zane and I met at Mount Eternal. However, it was a brief encounter.
I remember. I didn't expect us to meet again here.
When Benedict is introduced, I learn that he was once a distinguished doctor. He served as a mentor for a group of new recruits during the Battle of Mount Eternal. However, he withdrew from the position at the halfway point for personal reasons.
We're not officially open to the public yet, but this sanatorium has already become the preferred choice for many patients. As the director, I'm truly grateful that everyone has embraced the philosophy of the Fountain of Ate.
Through the glass walls lining both sides of the corridor, the sanatorium's new patients can be seen. They're undergoing a physical examination. Each patient is accompanied by their assigned medical staff member. The checkups proceed quickly with virtually no waiting time. When you hear Rebirth Cocoon, what comes to your mind?
Metamorphosis.
Outside the ascending elevator, the stark whiteness gradually gives way to green. A vibrant garden appears before us. And suddenly, everything clicks. Someone returns from death's door, and this is the first thing they see. A crescent-shaped corridor encircles a towering tree, surrounded by emerald-like grass dotted with vibrant flowers. The area overlooks a circular azure lake. They feel like they've been given a second chance at life.
To be frank, we need Dr. Zane's help to improve our experiment's success rate.
He speaks as if he's discussing statistics rather than matters of life and death. If there's still room for improvement, shouldn't you inform your patients about the so-called success rate?
They're aware. The patients who've been given terminal diagnoses voluntarily agreed to participate in the experiment. It's a deal with mutual consent. Besides, who would choose to wait for death's certainty when given the chance to roll the dice of fate?
Third floor.
As the elevator doors open, an unexpected gust makes me squint. Before me is an unfamiliar white corridor. It's empty and clean. The corridor is lined with separate rooms on both sides, and through their semi-transparent glass, I see egg-shaped experimental pods. Here are the Rebirth cocoons. Their mysterious nature has been revealed. Mounted on bases lined with energy circuits, they emit a gentle glow. Contrary to what we expected, Carter and Benedict seem quite willing to show us everything. Yet, what we see feels like a meticulously crafted exhibition for the visitors. The light bathes everything in a soft, warm tones to create a sort of cocoon effect. Even the air filtration system can be adjusted to simulate different scents based on mood. Every detail was made to spark a desire for life and create an illusion of truly being alive. A soft hum fills the air as fluorescent blue energy flows through the tubes and rapidly enters the chamber. The connected monitor displays the Rebirth cocoon's interior in real time. Inside, a young girl is receiving treatment, clutches her chest. She takes deep, labored breaths. Pain covers her already pale face as she breaks into a cold sweat. Her hands tremble, and she soon starts convulsing. Ugh. Seconds after the device activates, her breathing steadies at a remarkable rate. Her convulsions stop. As time passes, her breathing finally becomes regular. Exhausted, she closes her eyes and seemingly drifts into a deep, dreamless slumber. The video feed sparkles with light, and text appears to indicate the treatment is complete. Benedict presses a button on the wall, and the treatment room's smart glass returns to its opaque, milky white state.
Dr. Zane, these should interest you the most. The treatment consists of 7 sessions. Patients show significant improvement in health indicators after each one.
He hands over a document that contains experimental data from several test subjects. Zane's gaze lingers on the first page for half a second before turning to Carter, who's standing to the side with a self-satisfied look.
I won't be sugarcoating anything. Your experiment has failed to meet its objectives. You've lost control of the cellular mutation process.
You could have used a little bit of sugar. Zane, the Rebirth cocoon is our most successful experimental
Shut up,
product
Carter.
to date. Our ultimate goal is to achieve humanity's perfect form through genetic and cellular reconstruction.
Without a hint of emotion, Zane glances at him. He taps the data success rate column with his knuckle.
These numbers are far from perfect.
Someone's using his expertise well.
As the creator of XArt, I can tell you that your so-called success merely uses the existing technology to temporarily delay the disease's progression. And if it fails, there's a likely chance that the patients will transform. Then they'll begin to turn into wanderers.
Every treatment carries risks. If we only relied on your safe methods, then...
Zane closes the files and hands them back to Benedict. His expression remains calm throughout the exchange.
Of course. I understand you're challenging the impossible. That's why I decided to join. I enjoy challenging the impossible.
As they continue their thoughtful verbal sparring, my gaze is drawn to the curved floor-to-ceiling window beside us. Outside, patients in white hospital gowns walk across the verdant lawn. They create an unexpectedly peaceful scene. At that moment, my heart detects a strange energy. It pulls me forward. This feeling, it's just like before when I was in the ruins of the Gaia Research Center. I gently nudge Zane. He understands and takes a step to converse with Benedict and Carter. Then he successfully leads them away. After making sure no one's around, I slip into the descending elevator.
You're not allowed in there, miss.
I see.
You can't go there either. Miss, visitors are restricted to the public areas on the first and second floors. We aim to respect our patients' privacy.
I turn to meet the receptionist's polite yet wary gaze and nod. Alright then, I'll head back. It was that way, right? I point to a spot in the distance, confused. The receptionist turns to look. I prepare to make my escape. But I'm yanked by the hem of my top. Eh? The faint energy I've sensed disappears. That was weird, okay. Undercurrent. In the hallway, the receptionist has finally noticed my disappearance and is looking everywhere for me. The sliding door closes. I turn around, cautious only to find myself face to face with someone familiar.
You're the young lady who accompanied Dr. Zane.
Miss Karen?
Allow me to properly introduce myself. I'm Karen, a patient with Protocore syndrome.
A sliver of light from outside filters through the Venetian blinds. It illuminates her gentle features. She extends her hand, thin yet steady, toward me. I politely return her handshake.
I know you and Dr. Zane are here to investigate the Fountain of Ate, or rather, the Rebirth cocoon. However, the press conference for it is coming up, and you're not the only ones keeping an eye on things.
You said exactly what I was thinking. Are you also undercover so you can gather information? She nods, but after a moment passes, she shakes her head.
Sort of. My original reason for coming here was simple. I wanted to live. Isn't it strange? After all, I was a war correspondent who once risked everything on the battlefield. Yet, after returning to civilian life, I'm afraid of death. I even believed in far-fetched promises.
When it comes to matters of life and death, I have no right to judge, let alone interfere with others' choices. Yet I also wondered, if I were patient, would I pin my hopes on this experiment despite knowing full well how absurd it is? But I hesitate, unsure if I should reveal what I know.
You want to say that this experiment is turning people into monsters. Those things called the Alterum. I was there during the Battle of Mount Eternal. I saw people transform into monsters with my own eyes. Whether you're trying to stop it or investigate it, 2 people won't be enough to treat this as a simple matter.
She turns around and opens a drawer. She takes out a small, elegant notebook and hands it to me.
This may seem sudden, but I need your help. And I believe you might need mine as well. It'll be necessary to prevent this press conference from taking place.
But why would you... Questions flood my mind, but I can't find the right one to ask.
As it stands, I'm their most successful test subject.
That visitor just disappeared around here.
The receptionist I managed to shake off earlier hurries towards us. Karen responds with a slight smile.
Take this with you. When you get out, tell them you saw the patient in room A107 faint. You were just escorting me back to my room.
I understand. Thank you. Interesting.
Miss, how did you end up here? Is there anything I can help you with?
The patient in room A107 just collapsed. You should check in on her. While skeptical, the receptionist quickly summons doctors and nurses. The quick response suggests Karen's presence carries a special weight here. My first visit to the sanatorium, uncovering these crucial leads is more than I could have hoped for. As for those secrets that lie deeper in a shroud of mystery and finding a way to stop Carter and Benedict's plan, that will take more time. Wonder how Zane is doing. Should act like I don't know anything when I meet up with him. Pushing these thoughts aside, I carefully hide the notebook on my person before heading towards the main white building. As the tour is about to end, Carter is once again urgently called away by his assistant.
As the creator of Exhart, seeing your technology destroyed because of a momentary lapse in judgment. Do you feel regret or disbelief? I had imagined both reactions, yet I see neither on your face.
You must have been away from the operating room for too long, Mr. Benedict. You seem to have forgotten that showing emotions on one's face is the most ill-advisable thing a doctor can do.
Benedict smiles and chooses to ignore the sarcasm.
I'll be honest. I don't trust you, Dr. Zane. But no one else has your outstanding qualifications and experience. It's precisely why I want to bring you on board, even when I know you don't agree with our philosophy.
Since you're being candid, Mr. Benedict, I'll also discard the pleasantries. As I've said, I want to challenge the impossible. We each have something to gain, no? This collaboration could work.
Is challenging the impossible your only reason? Will you really let others handle your life's work? Don't you want to find out who created those Alterum?
You certainly enjoy speculating about others' feelings.
I just can't help but wonder. If your bold experiment back then was completed, would the results have been different? In any case, Miss Hunter will tell you about her impressions of the tour after she's done with her disappearing act.
The clamor from downstairs seeps through the window and causes subtle vibrations in the air. Calm as always, Zane meets his gaze.
I look forward to our cooperation in the future.
That was second. Okay. Thawing snow. Finding out some interesting stuff about Ever and their experiments. Okay. And just like that, our first tour comes to an end. After leaving the sanatorium, life with Zane seems to have returned to normal. Barely finding a moment's rest, he rushes between Axel Hospital and the sanatorium. For the time being, Ever seems preoccupied with their grand vision with the Fountain of Ate. The leads related to the Ether Core has also gone cold. Meanwhile, the Protocore Syndrome cases are multiplying at an incredible rate. Axel Hospital's emergency room is constantly overwhelmed. Medical teams worldwide continue to test new treatments, but the result remains disappointingly ineffective. It's as if a deity, somewhere in the cosmos and uncertain about the world's fate, keeps listlessly rolling the dice again and again. Emergency room.
Aren't you supposed to save people's lives? My wife is critically ill, and you're just letting her die.
Where's Dr. Zane?
Sippies!
Isn't he the leading expert on Protocore Syndrome? Why can't he see us first?
Doctor, my child was
Oh, wow.
perfectly fine yesterday. Why did the condition worsen?
More sippies and posture check. Okay. Okay. I took all my sippies. Let me stretch a bit. And sit up. Okay. Let's see. So people are yelling at Dr. Grayson here. Or Grayson. In the break room for the Division of Cardiac Surgery, the doctors and nurses can finally get a few minutes of rest. Exhausted, they slump into their chairs.
We're humans, not gods. We want to take care of everyone too.
They switched Grayson's voice actor.
In 3 days, Ever will officially unveil the Rebirth cocoon at their press conference. It is designed to treat Protocore Syndrome. We interviewed Ms. Karen, one of the first patients who underwent this treatment. She will appear at the press conference. We might be witnessing a medical revolution. Only time will tell.
Everyone remains silent as they watch the transparent partition in the door. From the corridor, they observe Zane's focused expression.
Isn't Dr. Zane supposed to be on leave?
Officially, maybe. I bet he's just busy with other projects.
Things just aren't the same without Dr. Zane here. Seeing him around makes me feel at ease. It doesn't matter how exhausted I am.
Yvonne lets out a deep sigh and turns to open the storage cabinet. With practiced ease, she breaks 2 dietary glucose sticks to hand out to her colleagues behind her.
Let's eat these and give it our all.
Well, I just have to eat glucose sticks and just go. 7:10 p.m.
Doctor, if I get sick, will I turn into a monster?
No.
Really? Will from the bed next to me said these crystals will eat us and turn us into big monsters.
Dr. Zane, I'd like to process my child's discharge papers. If you could...
Hello, Mr. Waters. Welcome in.
Lexi's condition has shown improvement. I advise you not to transfer hospitals at this time.
But everyone's saying Ever has a new treatment. We really want to try it.
2:20 a.m.
The pulmonary artery aneurysm has ruptured. There is insufficient blood volume for circulation. Dr. Zane, we can pronounce the time of death.
Is it the little girl? You see me everywhere now. Well, hello, welcome here.
Time of death.
Oh, very sad,
2:23
okay.
a.m. Notify the family.
Ooh. Using the wall to support himself, a teenager in a warm green hoodie staggers along. He stops to catch his breath after each step. Every organ feels twisted and turned inside out. His nerves scream from the agony and pain. They threaten to rob him of his strength to stand. His vision blurs as he collapses against the wall. His arms shake uncontrollably as he tries to balance himself. Something races beneath his skin.
I'm not a monster. I don't want to become a monster.
A violent urge surges through him once again as he stares at his hands. They're covered in his sharp crystals. He's fighting against the impulse to plunge them into his own heart. Yet he can't bring himself to do it. Cold snowflakes fall into his body that reached a fevered pitch. A man's steady footsteps approach. He stands at the end of the road, his tall figure nearly blocking out all the light from the street lamp. The teenager can still make him out. However...
You're the killer. Or the doctor. We meet again.
This isn't a coincidence. I'm here specifically because of you.
Is that so? Am I turning into a monster?
He forces his eyes to close for a moment. Even his vision is starting to blur. The man clad in black slowly approaches him. The teen feels an unexpected sense of peace.
I knew you'd save me.
Just as something foreign bursts through his skin to strike the man before him, the teen hears the crystalline sound of ice forming beside his ear.
It'll be over soon.
Wow.
The patient in room A103 is experiencing memory loss, continual emotional detachment, and exhibiting behavioral patterns that differ from usual. 3 days after entering the rebirth cocoon, the boy from room A210
is this the diary that she gave us?
The patient from room A379 experienced a violent episode while awaiting treatment. The rebirth cocoon's performance has improved. I was chosen as the ideal test subject. They believe I'm the closest to success.
The notes Karen gave me consist almost entirely of observation reports on other test subjects. Her journalist instincts made her distrust this research project from the start. She had already noticed something was off about it. This is... A worn, creased photo slips out from between the notebook pages. Its edges reveal the countless times it's been handled. In the photo, Karen is holding a little girl who's no more than 3 years old. Both of them are smiling at the camera. Is that her daughter? I quickly understand why she wants to live despite her doubts about this project. Oh, when did you get back? The breaking dawn appears outside the window as the sky grows brighter. Perhaps it's just my imagination, but I think I see those black ice crystals on his arm again. When I move closer to check, it seems I'm imagining things. Zane watches me without saying a word. I realized that I only came over last night to help feed Shichi, but I got so caught up in analyzing the clues that I accidentally fell asleep on the couch. Sorry, I went a little overboard when I made myself at home. Moment passes and a faint smile tugs at the corner of his lips.
Is there a passcode in this house that you don't know?
I clear my throat and hand him the notebook. I try to prevent us from getting sidetracked. In any case, I believe Karen is our best lead right now. Recently, Ever has made a public announcement about their best test subject who will make an appearance at the press conference. Unlike those big spenders and socialites, Karen has a positive, approachable image. She also has a good reputation in the eyes of the general public. I'm trying to use her to build the public support and convince more people to believe in their cause. By giving me these notes, she probably hopes I'll help her stop the press conference, or even put an end to the project altogether. So I thought... For a while I've been talking to myself, and then he hugs me from behind. Oh. This is Zane?
Yes, I'm listening.
His embrace is gentle, as if the slightest touch might shatter something fragile. Did something happen?
It's cold.
To think someone who's like snow could feel chilly, I pause before turning around to embrace him. I'll stop talking about Ever. But if you're really tired, please make sure you rest properly. Will you do that for me? Oh, cute little ending. Okay. 4. Countdown. There are less than 36 hours remaining until the press conference for the Fountain of Atay. Before returning to the sanatorium to stop it, Zane and I quickly come up with a plan. Before returning... Oh, wow, I already read that. Go. I need to approach Miss Karen again to figure out a surefire way. Meanwhile, Zane, who already has connected with the core researchers, will cover for me. Whether it's diseases, wanderers, or the Alterum, they all stem from humanity's instinctive fear of things beyond their control. The deeper this fear takes root, the more likely people are to mistake absurdity for miracles. And whenever appears as a savior, they will gain a congregation of devoted followers. The story hasn't peaked lately. Does get pretty interesting. Especially once we start to figure out more about the experiments and stuff. Zane, the energy source I detected wasn't my imagination. I'm still not confident in utilizing the spatium core, but another visit might help us discover something new. Zane nods. I was prepared for a lecture about not abusing my power, but he says nothing. Here, put it on. To ensure the mission runs smoothly, I borrowed cutting-edge equipment from the Association. The state-of-the-art invisible earpiece modified by engineering prodigy Simone is now no bigger than a grain of rice. I love Simone. I want more of her in this story. I also have a small energy firearm. It's capable of bypassing most detection systems currently in use. I place the earpiece in my ear and gesture for him to come closer. Zane obliges and leans down. One cough to turn the mic on, 2 coughs to turn it off, and tap to adjust the volume.
Thank you.
I'm not sure why you're being so polite, but as soon as the comms channel opens, deafening audio feedback blasts my eardrums. I clutch my ear in pain. I stagger back, and just before Shichi's mischievous attempt to trip me succeeds, Zane catches me by the waist. Can't help but laugh. This is the first time in days that I've seen genuine joy in Zane's expression.
You...
I frantically clap my hand over his mouth. Wait until I adjust the volume before you speak. I can feel a smile widening beneath my fingers as I use my other hand to adjust the earpiece. Sound check? Zane, say something.
You've never asked about the reason for why I picked that as my research topic back in medical school.
He remains close to me, his breath warm against my ear. It's almost like I can hear his heartbeat. The path of medicine is a noble pursuit, Dr. Zane. You strive for academic excellence. You also want to find meaningful purpose in life.
It's a good guess.
Back then, when you decided to destroy what could have been a world-changing discovery, you didn't hesitate?
Correct.
It's the kind of honor most people would cherish for a lifetime, yet he seems genuinely unbothered by it. Zane must have chosen to stop the experiment because he foresaw the consequences of its potential misuse.
I had considered including your name in the acknowledgments of my paper.
Simone gonna be the first female lead? I hope so. I love her. I doubt they would, but if any of them are gonna become the lead, please, Simone. I nod as I secure my firearm to the holster strapped to my thigh. Then I double-check my equipment. You only thought about it? You didn't actually do it?
It wouldn't have been right for our names to appear on the same piece of paper without your permission.
Before I can process the meaning behind his words, a rustling sound suddenly comes from the window. A piece of bean-shaped ruby chocolate falls. Clattering, it rolls to my feet. I look up to see the last pack of chocolate snacks from the cabinet has been taken down and torn open on the floor. No, not Carter. No, no, no. Not Carter. Shichi lifts his face from the snack package, which is bigger than his head, and licks the chocolate residue off his nose. Eh? Wait, what did you eat? My body moves before my mind can catch up. I quickly pick up Shichi and check the empty package. You ate all the chocolate? You... Animals aren't supposed to eat that. No, Shichi! I mean, Shichi's apparently not a dog, really. But we don't know that. Butterfly in a bottle. As Zane approaches, the car enters the sanatorium parking lot. Since Zane holds an internal role here, he's been granted limited clearance to the facility. I plan to slip in while he keeps the receptionist distracted.
Safety first.
You too. Where he gives no. Gives you flowers. Blech. No. Not Carter. He doesn't look back when he leaves, but he suddenly raises his hand for a quick high five as our positions shield it from view. With my biosignature concealed, the omnipresent security camera scan doesn't trigger anything. The red indicator blink before moving on. Tamichi might be crazy, but I have to admit the ID camouflage chip he gave me is really useful. Oh yeah, we kept it? I guess so. Okay, cool. The lush trees and flower beds scattered throughout the sanatorium provide the perfect cover. Dodging staff members in the courtyard, I make my way to room A107 from memory. That's where Karen is. Staff will change shifts at approximately 12 p.m. There's a small window of time. To be more specific, there's a small window of time where no one checks the rooms. My shoes scrape against the smooth wall as I wait for staff to leave. Once they're gone, I slip through the window. Karen's eyes widen slightly at my entrance, but she remains quiet. Worry, with the press conference coming up, they tightened security. I can only use this method to visit. Do I have a favorite guy? Xavier. Xavier's my favorite.
I expected as much.
It's Xavier, and then Silas and Caleb are like right thunder. I understand the message you sent when you gave me those notes. That's why I'm here. Are you really going to give up? If we take this chance, you might actually have a shot at making a full recovery. Karen shakes her head.
After surviving so many close calls on the battlefield, I'd say death has already been more than generous.
She reveals a peaceful smile and looks up at the sunlight streaming through the window.
When I first entered the cocoon, I dreamed. And in that dream, I had made a full recovery. I got to watch my daughter grow up. I was there for every important moment of her life. At her wedding, I hugged her while crying. But the face reflected in her eyes was unmistakably that of a horrifying monster.
Raphael, not top 3. I love Raphael. And Zane. But, I love Raphael in the myths. Main timeline Raphael, I'm like, please shut up. I love him, but he's such a drama queen. Although his myths and his story, pretty awesome. You're liking Raphael so far? I see. I love Raph. Honestly, when I very first started playing this game, I thought Raphael, like, was gonna be my favorite. So like, oh cool. Like, artists and everything, and he's a mermaid, or merman, and I love ocean stuff, and I love that he's an artist. And then he started talking. I was like, oh my god, you're so dramatic. Pours wine on his chest. I mean, some of Raph's cards are some of my favorites. Just saying. You love Raph sass? Her gaze dims. Outside the window, a butterfly drawn to an artificial flowers in the vase crashes against the glass again and again. That's weird.
When I came to my senses, I realized I wasn't hugging her.
Ooh.
My hands were around her throat. I only wanted to hug her. So why did I make her cry?
Sensing my hesitation, she pulls the ivy line from the back of her hand.
My dear, have you heard of Zhuangzi's butterfly dream? I've always wondered who was really dreaming. Was it the butterfly, or Zhuangzi himself? If I can't tell who I am anymore, then the whole world has become my cocoon. The time I still have doesn't matter. I've made my decision.
What would you like me to do?
The press conference is scheduled for noon tomorrow, less than 24 hours from now. In an hour, They'll place me in the cocoon for my final examination. You need to locate the cocoon's power supply and cut it off completely.
Well, okay then. Just give me a mission right now. Tell me I have an hour to do it. Okay. No. The cocoon is connected directly to the test subject's consciousness. A sudden disconnection could lead to unpredictable effects on her already fragile body.
Don't worry about me. I'm prepared to face the consequences. Finding a suitable test subject like me isn't easy. Trust me, this is the best way to stop them.
I'll find a way to get you out of there.
Even if you could carry me, my body wouldn't survive a strenuous escape.
I know she's right. Once the guard's shifts end, they'll quickly discover their most important patient has disappeared. Every exit in the sanatorium will be sealed off by then.
If this is to be my final battleground, then you must help me. Please.
I understand. Back from AIDS. Welcome back. We're gonna unplug her while she's in the consciousness machine and kill her. Okay. After leaving room A107, I moved quickly without any hesitation to stay out of sight.
Did you hear? Patient A379 suddenly lost control and became violent just now.
It's fine. Dr. Carter said that was normal.
Cares what Dr. Carter says. Along the way, I quietly took down several orderlies and receptionists who spotted me. The sanatorium is massive and many areas are restricted. A blind search could last until nightfall and still be a failure. What I sensed that day must have been the cocoon's energy core. Take a deep breath and activate the spatial core's power once more. Let's resonate. My vision ripples and expands like waves. A faint energy trail leads me forward like a guiding thread. My drifting consciousness slowly sleeps through the sanatorium's public areas, the garden, and through each patient's room. If I can just find the energy control hub. Following the faint energy pulse, I find myself at the end of the corridor that connects the public area to the garden. There's a door almost seamlessly integrated into the wall. Without hesitation, I push it open. Whoa. A large enclosed space gradually reveals itself. Behind the door lies an unexpectedly serene forest. Strange. There are no guards present, only an unsettling silence hangs in the air. My watch hasn't sounded any alarms, and there are no detectable signs of biological activity among the vegetation. The energy source's pull grows stronger as it tugs at the power flowing within me. It's as if I'm being guided in a specific direction. Past the forest's winding paths, an unexpectedly elegant old building comes into view. That must be it. The energy readings are at their strongest there. Okay. Trustworthy colleague. With Zane's help these past few days, the cocoon's data and performance have shown improvement. Carter is in high spirits. He genuinely believes his junior has switched to the dark side. Now has finally seen the light. Oh, Carter.
I remember you were sitting right next to me when we talked for the first time. Do you want to join my research team? Before that, we all thought you were just some stuck-up child prodigy.
Dr. Noah used to say that one person can go fast, but a group can go far. Besides, your theoretical research was undeniably superior.
Look of surprise appears on Carter's face.
Back then, you were the youngest and quietest out of everyone. Who knew you'd be the most forward-thinking, boldest student in the lab? You went ahead and performed what we didn't dare to imagine. And you'd pose what we didn't dare to ask to the most distinguished of professors. until they were left speechless.
Walking and talking as they pass through the streamlined skywalk, the two soon arrive at the sanatorium's central platform. As dusk approaches, light filters through the hemispherical dome-like delicate silk. It bathes the courtyard in soft, warm hues.
I understand that Ever wants to use tomorrow's press conference to improve the Fountain of Atay's credibility. But the Rebirth cocoon still needs to be further developed. It's not ready to be revealed to the public.
Why not? We've prepared the best testing equipment, and all the data will be presented to the public in the most accessible format. Besides, we already have a suitable candidate for a public demonstration.
He turns to Zane and his voice becomes more eager.
Zane, do you remember what I asked you the night Exhart succeeded? I asked if you wanted to change the world with me.
Carter turns to survey the crowd in the garden below, his figure reminiscent of a smug creator gazing upon their creation.
We stand at the center of all our achievements. I assure you that success is within our grasp.
What exactly do you mean by success? Are you talking about unpredictable success rates? Or how quickly you dispose of your defective specimens when they fail?
The smile on Carter's face freezes, and it slowly disappears.
In the past, they were patients you fought desperately to save.
Thanks for the reminder. I almost forgot how pathetically incompetent I used to be. Why is it that when I was a powerless doctor, the lives lost under my care were somehow forgivable? But when I strive to be a pioneer, you suddenly care about the injustice done to those who were already destined to die. When did you become such a coward, Zane? That incident at Mount Eternal? Let me rephrase that. You've always been better at confronting death compared to me.
An uncontrollable impulse surges within him. Fortunately, a voice comes through his earpiece and pulls him back to reality. Zane, I found the location with the strongest energy signatures. Just in case, if you can get clearance from either Carter or Benedict. Zane composes himself, discreetly tapping the area near his ear. As acknowledgement, he looks at Carter. Pressing a finger against his chest, Carter's icy stare lands on Zane. His mocking tone from earlier vanishes.
The heart beating in my chest belongs to someone else. I can't live an insignificant life. Zane, I understand the meaning of death far better than you do. If these sacrifices are necessary, then so be it. We're about to solve humanity's greatest dilemma, and you're still too young.
His limbs are forcibly frozen to the wall. Surveillance cameras freeze just as they turn, and the red indicators go dark.
You? Zane, you dare to freeze me?
The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet for your academic plagiarism.
Oh. Carter briefly freed hand is sealed in ice once again, and his frantic struggling is frozen as an awkward, rigid pose.
You can't be serious. You're bringing this up now? The end justifies the means. Let me go!
It was a joke. But I need you to stay still for a while, Carter.
Are you planning to destroy the cocoon or cut off its power supply? The sanatorium has 6 independent operating systems. Pulling the plug won't be possible.
If this place allows someone with malicious intent like me to freely come and go, then that just shows how confident all of you are.
What are you actually trying to do?
Carter glares at him. His junior pauses thoughtfully before calmly shaking his head.
I won't tell you this time, Carter. I have a more trustworthy colleague to work with now.
You didn't come here alone this time. What's that girl up to? This is murder! You're taking away these patients' only chance at
You're
survival.
literally murdering them, Carter.
Zane, you ungrateful traitor! You might be smart, but you're weak and short-sighted. Security!
Another layer of ice appears to seal his mouth shut.
You said this place was perfect for heart-to-heart conversations, since no one would disturb us. I'm afraid you'll have to stay frozen for a while. Carter, you're not doing this to save lives, nor are you doing it to save humanity. Everything you've done is to merely fill the emptiness and soothe the fear you have when confronting death.
Zane takes out a palm-sized access card from Carter's pocket. Zane's gaze doesn't meet his. It lands on Carter's heart instead.
I doubt the heart's donor wants it beating in the chest of an executioner.
Well, okay then. Alrighty, Zane. Pretty awesome. W. Carter? What do you mean W. Carter? It's literally stuck to a wall. W. Zane, actually. Perfect specimen. A holographic display takes up half my field of vision. The green dot representing Zane is moving towards my position. Not expecting much, I take a deep breath and place my hand on the door. To my surprise, it opens with a gentle push. Light streams through the glass dome and lands on the floor. It reveals an elegantly decorated reception hall. Space is completely empty, only the sound of footsteps echoes to break the silence. Zane, I've sent you the coordinates. That's where the energy core is.
Don't worry, I'm just...
As soon as my hand touches the railings for the staircase going up, the scene before me flickers and vanishes. The comms channel is dead. Yeah, don't F with Zane. His ideals? Oh, okay. Experimenting and turning people into monsters and then killing them. That's some ideals to have. I pull my hand away and take half a step back. I turn as colors fade. Like running water, they flow out. From the ceiling, walls, and floor, they all melt into an endless expanse of pure white. It's like a white tomb.
I'm honored you decided to visit.
I hear a slightly amused voice behind me. I whirl around to find Benedict standing in the middle of a reception hall. I'm not sure when he appeared. While I'm startled, I need to look composed right now. You've done a good job of preparing for the press conference, Mr. Benedict. It's going well without you. He touches the wall and the white space suddenly dissipates. It returns to its original form, a reception hall.
Miss Hunter, you should have been the most successful test subject. It's a shame you weren't one of ours. After all, every experiment here exists for one purpose, to create beings just like you.
Gunshot explodes in the empty reception hall. I'm tired of hearing you people talk about the same thing. Let's skip the formalities and get to fighting. Just as the bullet approaches him, crystal shards suddenly burst from his arms to pulverize the projectile.
Oh, right. I forgot to mention something. I'm one of the cocoon's successful specimens.
Could have said that earlier. I quickly switch out to the regular bullets in my magazine for energy rounds designed to fight wanderers. Then I shoot at him. The Benedict seems to have anticipated this. At his signal, several shadowy figures surge forth from the darkness. Several Altera move with inhuman speed. Like savage beasts, they lunge toward me. You're calling for backup already? Guess you aren't really a successful specimen. Quickly stepping to the side and spinning, I dodge in the nick of time. The Alterum crashes into one another. I don't plan on dragging this fight out. Zane will be here soon. Finding the energy core location is the highest priority. I activate the spatial core's sensing ability again. There's a faint energy signature coming from the top floor of the building. And then everything before my eyes becomes indistinguishable once again. As the light shifts and wavers, thick fog appears from out of nowhere. It rolls in and blurs even the faces of the Alterum.
Play with them for a while.
My senses stop working and my vision is plunged into an endless void. Overwhelming dizziness washes over me. Desperate, I try to stay conscious in spite of the vertigo. My legs give out and I collapse onto the cold floor. Ooh. I know I've reached my limit. Just before I lose consciousness, the sounds around me fade. In the void, I feel someone firmly grab my wrist. Churning sensation of instability vanishes when I open my eyes.
Are you okay? Where does it hurt?
Under the flickering light, I can barely make out Zane's worried expression. Before I can say I'm fine, a searing pain erupts from my chest and flows through my entire body. I press my hand against my chest, but the physical pressure does nothing to ease the pain.
Stop trying to sense it. You look pale.
I grab his hand, gritting my teeth, I tell Zane everything that just happened.
After them! Where did they go?
Ooh.
Don't speak. Keep your breathing steady.
Zane quickly surveys our surroundings. He pulls my arm over his shoulder and helps me walk. It's not there. Go straight, past that barrier. We pass through the wall. The Alterum are right behind us, but it seems they were fooled by the elusive hologram. Thankfully, the space hasn't been warped. Zane pulls me into an empty room and slams the door. Ice covers it, but the Alterum have us cornered. They claw at the frost and create this sharp grating sound. Ugh. Everything in front of me blurs into patches of color. I try to grab Zane's hand again. My strength fails me. My hand weakly slides down his sleeve. Oh, animation! Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Zane? Why am I tied up?
It's done.
What did you inject me with?
A suppressant. The energy in your heart has surpassed your tolerance threshold. This will ease the strain.
I don't like needle either.
Better now?
Zane.
The suppressant won't last long. We need to leave now.
Fluctuations.
Ooh.
It's metaflux.
Pick up, pick up, pick up.
Look out. Fire.
Oh, you're still here. How delightful.
Zane!
Of course we would survive. If you take another step, I can't guarantee you'll get out of this alive.
Dr. Zane, a hunter firearm can't kill a human, but a wanderer can.
Okay, Zane. Hello.
If that's it, then he underestimated us. Watch your heart. 30% of your evil should do.
Let me see, looking clean.
In your case, the cure is extreme measures.
Alright, I mean, they look so badass together. That was cool. I'll skip the battles. I'll just do the last 3. But that was pretty cool. Alright. The decision. 3 more and we're almost done. Okay. After using up almost of my ammunition, the Wanderer finally crashes to the ground. But this isn't the end. The sound of regenerating flesh echoes throughout the building as the crystals on its body rapidly retract. It's as if they're being devoured. In just a few seconds, the Wanderer has completely regenerated and takes on Benedict's appearance.
Wait for an opening first, then we'll retreat. There's no point in continuing this fight.
Zane is right. Benedict isn't our primary target right now. Just now, something about Zane seemed off. That flash of black crystal, the killing intent, the cold indifference in his eyes, it all vanished. Strange unease rises in my chest, but there's no time to dwell on it. I fire my last bullet at Benedict as the grayish-white mist fills the reception hall. Here's another good example of my seamless coordination with Zane. Just realized you've been redoing battles for no reason. Yeah, pretty much. Like, there was no point in redoing some of them. I just did them because they're a part of it.
Now's our chance. Go.
With the Ultram at our heels, I lead Zane toward the strongest energy signature I remember sensing in the building. Have you noticed how the Ultram are getting stronger? They're practically like living weapons. Could it be that after their consciousness are eroded, these failed test subjects are turned into tools that can be commanded? After taking down another Alterum that tried to attack us, I run toward a corner. The strongest energy signature was right behind the door. Huh? Where's the door?
Watch out.
As Frost immobilizes the guard who tried to ambush us, Zane stands back to back with me. Both of us are on high alert. Part of the layout has changed again.
If this place is a projection, then changing the layout would be the quickest way to hide the energy core's location.
Ugh, this is annoying. To find the energy signatures again.
Remember to not let your energy overload your heart. I don't have any more stabilizing injections.
Speaking of which, where did you get the one you gave me?
Knowing how a certain Miss Hunter tends to overuse her evil, I came prepared.
Nice. When you restrained me earlier...
It was because you were too strong.
I place my hand on the wall, energy surges through my veins as my sensing ability is magnified. Location becomes clear. I'm certain the energy core is being held on the top floor. Go. I'm doing it. Why? Slide. Why is it not go? Oh, there it goes. Okay. I found it. Follow me. The last Alterum is knocked down to the area below. Only me and Zane are on the top floor. At the end of the cold, white corridor stands a single door. It's as if our only option is to move forward. This is it. Zane and I exchange a quick glance before swiping Carter's ID card against the scanner.
Welcome to the Energy Core Control Room, Dr. Carter.
Stretch. Shrimp. I may be a shrimp right now, but it's fine. I sit up. Okay. Stretching made me yawn. Once the door to the control room closes, a layer of ice covers it. Thick cables run across the area, and they all converge on the central energy pillar that emits a luminescent blue light. It's being powered by a protocore. In all of its glory, this is Ever's crown jewel in the industry of protocore technology. The energy pillar is destroyed, all ongoing experiments will immediately cease. In other words, Karen, who is currently undergoing an examination, will remain trapped in her cocoon. It could potentially cause irreversible damage to her body.
Are you worried she might regret her decision?
She told us what she wanted. And we have to stop Ever, so destroy it. Can't betray her trust in me, or rather, I believe in her choice. Remember the first time I held Karen's hand? It was thin, delicate, yet surprisingly strong. Major yawn is well. Yawns are contagious.
Zane, wait!
Carter, how'd you get free? Carter's voice rings out from the overhead speakers as the surrounding glass walls instantly become transparent. I can see Carter has arrived. Catching his breath, he's standing in the reception hall we were in earlier.
Zane, leave this place, and don't you dare destroy that energy core! Do you remember how much time and effort we put into this?
Without a hint of emotion in his eyes, Zane gives Carter a slight nod. Amid the chaos, Benedict calmly stands behind the crowd. He smiles as he raises his hands to his ear.
You dropped your facade sooner than I expected, Dr. Zane. Is it because of your sense of duty as a doctor, or a resolve driven by guilt?
Believing that you can guide humanity's fate so you can control life and death is the epitome of arrogance.
Isn't thinking you have the right to stop any experiment that crosses the boundaries of life just as arrogant? This is what the people in our era want. And in just a few centuries, or maybe even a few decades, history will remember this moment.
You have no right to speak of such things.
Why don't we watch and see how the future unfolds? Even if you've stopped Ms. Karen's experiment and prevented the press conference today, you can't stop the tide of progress.
It's more or less the same rhetoric. Did everyone ever attend the same corporate seminar or something?
Ah, yes. I have one more question I'd like to ask you, Dr. Zane.
The static in the comms channel suddenly falls silent and cuts off Carter's angry shouts. All I can hear is Benedict's steady voice tinged with amusement alongside his breath.
Back then, why did you choose to destroy something that could have shaken or even changed the world?
He asked the exact same question that I did. A sense of unease stirs as I glance at Zane, who's maintaining his usual composure.
It couldn't be controlled. Any action beyond our control leads to unpredictable consequences.
Maybe it's because he uses E-Ball too many times in quick succession. Delicate ice crystals are suddenly creeping up Zane's forearm.
Uncontrollable. I see. Your rationality is an absolute, the very thing that drives you to eliminate any possibility of losing control. It affects the smallest things about yourself to the greatest matters of this world. That's why you killed William at Mount Eternal back then, yes? You really are capable of such cruelty. You struck down your mentor and friend who fought beside you. Even I would have hesitated.
Cut to the chase.
A long time passes before Zane's voice breaks the silence. Although his tone remains calm, his ragged breathing gives him away.
You're here to atone for your mistake, that much is certain. But you also wish to uncover what you think is the truth. For example, surely there must be an explanation for why those Alterum look so much like everyone who died at Mount Eternal.
Interesting. The tense undercurrents of this moment, a harsh truth slowly surfaces.
I'll tell you. Those people at Mount Eternal were this experiment's first batch of failed specimens. Your companions, William, all your guilt and suffering, I'm the one who caused it.
His tone is almost nonchalant, yet every sentence is like a knife straight to the heart.
A discovery that could have shaken the world to its core, abandoned because of a moment of cowardice. You made their deaths as meaningless as those of the failed Alterum.
A wave of frost surges throughout the room. A bone-chilling cold creeps up from the floor. The windows, walls, and floor are sealed under thick layers of ice. They form intricate, crystalline patterns. Zane! With each breath, the veins on his neck throb as black ice crystals spread rapidly across his skin. It's like they're trying to devour every last bit of his life force. This isn't the Zane I know. This is the merciless Grim Reaper who emerged from the depths of hell itself. Dawnbreaker. Two more. And then I'm caught up on the story. Alrighty. Curse of Memory. The door that had been sealed... too fast. The door had been sealed with ice, burst open. Having completed their transformations into wanderers, the Alterum tried to overwhelm us like a tidal wave. Need to head out. Alrighty, bye-bye, Kesselcombe. Thank you for stopping by. As soon as they get close, sharp icicles pierce their chests. The shards of ice then explode outward like a violent storm. More Alterum advance. They crush the fallen ice crystals beneath their feet as they crawl over corpses to reach us. All the Alterum open and close their mouths in unison. They stutter and produce these unsettling sounds. No matter how hard he tries, Zane can't make out what they're saying or see their faces clearly. A nightmare warps around his body like a phantom. It coils behind him and whispers fate's curse into his ear.
Aren't you a doctor?
Am I going to die? Pay for this.
I didn't sacrifice everything just to become someone ordinary and powerless.
One day, you will hurt her.
He clutches his chest and feels as if the icy wind stabbed it. He stares at the corner of the tent fluttering the snowy gale with a distant, otherworldly gaze. William, who had just finished the surgery, pauses in surprise. He smiles and holds out his hand towards him.
Nightmare? If you can't sleep, then we can go for a walk.
Everything that just happened seemed to have been a dream. He stares at his fingers, the blood, the girl's shocked expression. It was all just a dream.
It's unfortunate we couldn't save the patient today. Don't be too hard on yourself. Back when I was doing research, failure meant you could always try again. But as a doctor, lives will only give you one chance. You know, I had these exact same feelings during my first mission as a military doctor.
Polar night hasn't disappeared. The dark blue sky appears to be almost within reach. Desolate land covered in a blanket of snow is always magnificent.
It took me a long time to realize that what we have to face isn't just the loss of a life and death itself. The way they look at you in their final moments, it's always the same. Time and time again, you'll have to see their fear and desperation when they're about to die.
William is deep in thought. Then, as if remembering something, he turns to Zane and smiles.
By the way, did you hear my final plea when you killed me?
He stares blankly at William's distorted face, and in the very next second, the ice shards have already something. Once again, he sinks into the dark abyss of his consciousness. Why did it, disappear so fast? There are more of them. They're actually using Alterum as weapons. I roll and find an opening in the wall of the Alterum that's protecting Benedict, I aim my gun at him. Before I can pull the trigger, brilliant ice flies towards Benedict. Benedict smiles. He crushes the ice shard embedded in his chest.
You're different from the man I was talking to earlier. I must say, you're skilled at saving and taking lives, Dr. Zane.
With a slight gesture of his hand, the Alterum freezes in place like marionettes. They withdrew like receding water as if they received a silent command.
I hope you'll find your true path after our candid discussion.
Soon enough, only the two of us remain in the vast, cold control room. Ignoring everything else, I rush past the dissipating ice crystals to Zane and cradle his face in my hands. Zane, look at me. Listen to me. No matter who Benedict is, I'll always keep a bullet just for him. Starting today. Zane's labored breathing shows how intense the pain is. The black ice crystals emerge from his neck and continue to spread out. His ice-cold fingers are slowly slipping away from my palm. I need to wake up from this nightmare right now. These hands that saved countless lives should never be stained with the pain and guilt that don't belong to them, especially not because of scum like Benedict. Zane, you have to... These few seconds feel like centuries, and then he finally raises his head to look at me. He slowly tenses, and I see myself... Don't know what that said. Zane? Pain answers me instead. My consciousness shatters as I drift into a warm embrace of unconsciousness. Before everything fades, distant memories regroup and flood my mind. Okay. The ground is littered with the remains of wanderers. They're slowly dissipating. Meanwhile, searing pain burns my chest. Struggling to push myself up, I see my blood-stained hands are small and thin. What are you... Okay, sorry, I had a kids come in. Did this happen when I was little? I look up, there's a young man with a familiar face, but his expression is frighteningly cold and foreign. While I'm dazed, his face merges with Zane's present-day appearance. They, my memories and reality, approach me step by step.
Your existence is a mistake. You must be eliminated.
It's as if black frost has covered his eyes. Having materialized in his raised hand, sharp ice crystals hurl themselves at me. Whoa. Okay. The next day, the pristine sanatorium stands tall, immaculate, and serene. It's been restored to the... Wait, it's not showing. It's been restored to the point where yesterday's attack might have never happened at all.
Wherever and whenever you need us, we will provide you with healthcare services
Okay.
of the highest quality.
In the courtyard, a gentle breeze caresses the grass, kissed by early morning light. A cocoon hangs on a delicate swaying flower stem. The faint sound of struggle can be heard from within. Light reveals the outline of tightly folded wings behind its translucent walls. Moist and tender, it breaks free from its cocoon, and in the refreshing air of rebirth, those wings slowly take to the skies. Wow, okay. Last one! That was a little tense. I guess now we're walking out. Once we finish this one, then that means I'm completely caught up with the main story. Since we already read To Your Yesterday, like when it... like a month ago? So that was the one with Xavier. And it goes into him and the backtrackers and stuff. And then it goes into Raphael. and stuff there too, so. Let's finish up Zane's story. The Land of No Return. My heart constricts as a sharp pain courses through every fiber of my being. My consciousness sinks into a blurry darkness, footsteps that are close by sound distant. Footsteps that are close by sound distant, as if they're muffled under a glacier. What? Zane, is that you? He stops in his tracks as if he heard me. Am I still, like, dreaming, or what is going on? Doesn't take the candy or freeze the melting popsicle I offer him. Oh, I guess so. Young Zane!
Away from me! I'm sorry.
The box sits on the doorstep, wisps the cold air drift inside it. Inside the box lie 3 misshapen snowballs. Misshapen snowballs. Remnants from when Zane was still learning how to use his e-ball as a kid. Really? Zane knows I got hit with ice when watching the seals, and now he made snowballs to tease me? I heard footsteps. Did he already leave? I don't see anyone nearby. As I hold the box close, an inexplicable sense of loss washes over me. I want to say his name, but something catches in my throat. It silences my voice. Zane? I managed to finally call out his name, yet when I open my eyes, I find myself staring at a dimly lit ceiling. As my foggy consciousness slowly clears, I realize I'm lying down in a room at Axel Hospital.
Due to Miss Karen's poor health, Ever's press conference for today has been cancelled.
Dang.
Mr.
I mean, they can't say like, oh, she died.
Sanatorium stated that the patient's well-being takes precedence over the event.
A hand waves before me, its owner's lips move as if to say something I can't make out.
How many fingers am I holding up?
Looking down, I see my wounds have been bandaged and the pain has mostly subsided. I sit up and take Yvonne's hand. Where's Zane?
Oh, you're awake. Thank goodness you're okay. You had cardiac energy overload and some minor injuries when Dr. Zane brought you in. We asked him what happened, but he wouldn't say anything. He stayed in this room until your vital signs stabilized.
As she speaks, Yvonne leans in. Her expression becomes more serious.
I heard from Grayson that Dr. Zane went to the director's office to submit his resignation letter.
What?
There was a loud commotion in the office. I've never seen the director that angry before. He didn't approve it and gave Dr. Zane an extended leave. Then he told him to go home and think things through. He wouldn't say another word about it. Dr. Zane didn't hesitate at all. But before he left the hospital, he asked us to take good care of you.
I try to force myself to smile, but I can't. Only one thought is in my mind. Find him.
Wait, you can't just... Oh no. Please, be careful.
I'm sorry. We haven't seen him.
Sorry, we haven't seen anyone who matches your description.
Dr. Zane! A few days ago, he said he'd be traveling to remote... Oh, you must be that young lady. This is our new menu item for today. Would you like it to go?
Oh yeah, he had ordered the dessert shop to always send one dessert to MC. Like he paid in advance for a bunch of desserts.
Wait! Dr. Zane already paid for it!
Zane's home, his favorite dessert place, the cafe near Axel Hospital. I visited every place I could think of. But there was no trace of him anywhere. Late into the night, I enter the passcode to his house again. I'm clinging on to one final hope. The room is shrouded in darkness. Snowflakes drift in through the gaps of the floor-to-ceiling windows.
The number you have dialed is currently unavailable. Please try again later.
Memories that are no longer dormant slowly flood my mind again. I've seen those black ice crystals and that pained look on his face before. In my childhood memories, Zane moved away while carrying a heavy, unspoken guilt. That habit of disappearing has existed even back then. I hear a faint whimper in the cold. Is it Shichi? Yeah, I raise my head and rub my stinging eyes to see Shichi. It's you. As if he understands me, Shichi leaps onto the sofa and gently places his paw on my knees. I feel I've tried everything, but I still can't find him. I hold Shichi close, my trembling voice barely above a whisper. I didn't realize it cracked until now. Please, can you help me one more time? Take me to him. Time passes, and Shichi obediently jumps down, sniffs the blanket on the sofa that carries Zane's scent, and runs towards the half-open door. In the darkest hours of the night, it's snowing again. Large snowflakes dance around the glowing streetlights. They settle on rooftop streets, passing cars and the shoulders of pedestrians. After running for a long time, Shichi stops in front of a pitch-black fence. He circles it a few times before signaling me to follow. Where am I? The streetlight illuminates the faded writing on a sign. This is the public cemetery in Lincoln City. It's also the final resting place for those who have no place to call home. Shichi quickly vanishes into the darkness. I steel myself before running after him. Oh! As soon as I see that familiar figure, my heart leaps violently in my chest. Zane! He stands in the snowy night, his coat billowing between black tombstones. He's like a ghost who has nowhere to go. I understand why he left the moment I see the names on the tombstones. He chose to imprison himself in this nightmare. Can I do anything? Oh, I guess here. Okay. Done. He wants to atone, to seek redemption for the monsters he killed. I hurry to his side, but when I try to call out his name, it gets stuck in my throat.
Why are you here?
Questions overwhelm my mind, but I don't know what to ask about first. He chose to disappear without a word. He didn't even give me an explanation.
These graves belong to the people who died by my hand. I don't believe their deaths were unjustified.
Do you think I'm... Oh, well, Tim.
Guilt.
Oops.
I'm not
I want to
standing
interrupt
in
you,
front
Zane.
of them for repentance, let alone the atonement you're imagining.
When you almost raised your hand against me, based on your judgment, did that mean I was also someone who needed to be killed? Doesn't evade the question, he nods without hesitation. This is why you submitted your resignation letter to Axel Hospital. You haven't even healed my heart yet, and you're going to leave just like that? You told me not to change doctors on a whim, but can doctors abandon their patients whenever they want? Complex feeling crawls up from my throat to my tongue as emotions bubble up like boiling water.
I first met you when I came to Oxo Hospital. I was 12 at the time. Dr. Noah was a close friend of your grandmother, and I was told to look after you. You were afraid of me back then, until I used my power to keep your popsicle from melting.
Oh.
When things finally settled down after the Chrono Rift catastrophe, my parents asked if I wanted to move somewhere else. I hesitated for a long time. I was worried I wouldn't be able to see you anymore. But then that incident happened, and I actually hurt you. You were unconscious and bleeding heavily. When I realized what happened, I couldn't understand.
He closes his eyes for a moment. When he opens them, his expression is as serene as the calm after a snowstorm. It's like he finally woke up from a year-long nightmare, only to discover that the nightmare has become reality.
That was when I realized I could lose control of my power. And not being in control can lead to irreversible consequences. It's why I chose to leave without saying goodbye.
The truth pierces my heart like needles. Words are stuck in my throat.
Perhaps I chose cardiac surgery because I wanted to heal your heart. Or maybe I wanted to make amends for what I did back then. Even I don't know.
Keeps his gaze lowered, and his voice is as soft as melting snowflakes.
But I didn't hesitate when I chose the field of medicine. When I first recited the Hippocratic Oath, I truly believed I would become a good doctor. I believed I would save many people, including the one I had hurt before.
It doesn't seem like he noticed my obvious shock. Zane just gazes calmly at the weathered gravestones.
Until that night on Mount Eternal, when I killed William.
But you didn't have a better choice at the time. Once again, he lowers his emotionally detached gaze.
Do you really think a killer can be a doctor who saves lives? If something like this happens again, you might regret the fact that you tried to keep me close.
Are you saying your nightmares are destined to become reality? Will I turn into a monster that needs to be killed one day? I didn't expect him to answer, yet he shakes his head.
I don't know.
So, are you avoiding me now because of logical reasoning? What about your feelings? If you're going by pure logic, then now is the time. Well, do it, Zane. Are you afraid, or is this something you don't want to do? Looking at his calm, aloof expression, I find myself beyond the point of rationality. Whatever you do today, I won't have any regrets.
But I would.
Snowflakes land on my eyelashes. They turn his figure into prismatic fragments that are like ripples in the darkness.
I'm certain that if I were to truly hurt you one day, it would be the greatest regret of my life.
The snowflakes fall as if they're floating through the cosmos. They land on us and the gravestones. We stand in silence. Neither of us exchanges a single word. After that day, rumors related to the Alterum and Dawnbreaker faded away like melting snow. These pure white specks were but fleeting visitors. The city awakens in daylight, and once again, it's immersed in its bizarre flood of information. The Facial Core's energy remains concentrated in my chest. It's like a seed that's merged with my flesh. It faintly echoes with my heartbeat. I know these ether cores connect my past to my future. They're linked to the secrets hidden in Deepspace. Yet I wonder what fate awaits the Alterum, Zane and me. Ever won't give up the Fountain of Atay they carefully cultivated. They'll continue to weave their dreams of immortality. But they were right about one thing. The cycle of life and death is an inescapable truth. The constraints of matter break down, and the shackles of time and space gradually dissolve. Countless civilizations rise and fall among the stars. Because of the laws that guide entropy and dissipation, Earth's magnificent radiance will eventually fade. Humanity's long, undisturbed period of exile will also come to an end. I wouldn't understand that until much, much later. The Creator had planted foreshadowings in an era predating life itself. The creator. Alright. Alrighty. Hello, Savior. Sleeping, standing up. Ah. Well, Zane's gone. He just left us. And we still don't know where he's at in the main storyline. Like, he hasn't come back yet. He's just gone. So, hopefully next big update we'll find out. But I feel like the next big update is gonna go into Caleb.
I'm almost wide awake.
No way, that's how it leaves off.
How come you haven't fallen asleep yet? Short
Yep.
won't make your day.
I actually cried the first time. I was like, Zane just leaves? Yeah, Zane leaves. And we're just kind of left with that. And this was
Feel even shorter. How do I know? Once
many months ago. I don't know how long it's been since that update, but been a while. So yeah, that was definitely a big thing of everyone being like, oh. So Zane's gone. And then the next kind of storyline after this is we get into Xavier and his stuff with the backtrackers and his ship and all that stuff. And then we get into Raphael. And a similar thing happens with Raphael. Except they actually have Raphael come back at like the end in like the epilogue of that chapter. But I thought they were gonna do the exact same thing. That made me so sad with Raphael. And then they're like, just kidding, we'll actually bring him back this time. But they still left us on a cliffhanger with Zane, so still don't know where that's going, or where he went, or you know, what's going on. But Zane leaves us, and he is no longer working at the hospital. The Axo Hospital. So, yeah, that's something. What Xavier? Oh, yeah, I'm not going to bed. Sorry, dude. Oh, I didn't mean to click that. Oh, just went to sleep. Okay. Yeah. Devs like playing with y'all? Yes, they do. And like I said, we all thought Caleb was just dead for over a year. But, you know, this is kind of why I love this story. It makes me sad. Let's move over here. Yup. Oh my god, Stinky, stop banging on the door, please. Whatever, I'll leave him be. I'm almost ending anyways. So, that's Love in Deepspace. Officially, let's see. September, October, November, December, January. Almost 8 months. And we finally caught up with the main story from when I first started streaming. 0 out of 10 come back, Zane. Well, we'll see. We'll see where that story's going. But yeah, they definitely made everyone sad with this one, with Zane leaving. I feel like they've hinted at it in like some of their other cards or like their AUs. There's like the one AU where they're like feral. And that one with Zane also made me pretty sad. And in there they implied him leaving. And so that's why I was like, okay. I see this is a thing. So I don't know. I guess we'll see. finally I've caught up with the main story, and I've already read, like, there's the chapters after this one, but I already read that, because that came out at the very beginning of this year, and I read those on stream already. I just remember the last one, like the very last chapter of like the last one that came out. It left off with this something about Caleb. Yes, Feral like going crazy, like... Yup. All I'm gonna say is that was NAU. It was their Catch-22 banner. It was pretty interesting. Honestly, I would love to read through some of those. Or like some of like the AU ones. Actually, that's the only AU where I have all 5 cards. That was definitely something. And they're all feral men. I will not elaborate. And they were wearing pretty much the sluttiest outfits in that banner. Chef's kiss. Oh my. Anyways. Yep, so we caught up. And I think starting next week, I will be getting into their myths. Because I really do want to read through their myths. Feral cat boys. Okay, now you're onto something. Yes, email the devs right now. We need this. It was a long journey. Yup. So I would say, like, wow, because this is definitely one of the first games I streamed and started like reading through like the main story and stuff. Like pretty much around when I started streaming. And now we're in April, which is 8 months from August. So, finally caught up with the story. Yeah, so now I'm gonna focus on their myths. And then, like, I guess, of course, like, whatever events come up. So if it's, like, any of their birthday events, or if there's a special banner or special events or stuff like that, then I'll definitely check it out on stream. So, still a lot more to come with lads. I'm definitely not done with this game. There's still a ton of content. So, yeah, still more to come. Anyways, and with that, I will be heading off for the night. So, next stream will be tomorrow. No more skipping plushies. Fine. No more skipping plushie day. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow I will be streaming, why can't I think of it? Hello Kitty Island Adventure. So I'm just continuing that, running around on my island for a bit. Be tomorrow night. Yo. Oh yeah, and my stream schedule is posted on my stories on TikTok and in the Discord server as well. So you can see what time I am streaming this week. Alrighty guys. I'll see you guys later and good night. Good night.